Right, looking forward to it. Should I mute myself just so there's no accidental noises? To it.
This is the emergency broadcast system. This is not a test. Repeat, this is not a test. Stay tuned for further instructions.
Everyone should be able to see us now, hopefully. Hopefully the delay isn't too long tonight. No, it looks as if it's about 30 seconds. So I will just do what I usually do and blindly talk in the hope that when it appears on the monitor to my right, people can see me and hear me. Because my lovely subscribers are always too keen to tell me that I've done something wrong. So hopefully you can all hear me. And now we just sit here uncomfortably and wait. Yes, they can hear us and see us. Good evening, Mr. Conspiracy Catz. How are you, sir?
Yeah, really good, mate. How are you? You all right?
Overjoyed as always, me. Back from my holidays, straight back into YouTubering.
You've not been getting your hair cut today?
I just literally cut my hair before going live. I've got to look my best.
Me too. I was nearly late. I had a shower, and I wish I hadn't done that. It takes me ages to get this.
Yeah, no, that's what I did as well. I had a quick shower, quick shave of the old head, and away to go. So everybody in the chat, hopefully you can hear me, because you're not telling me you can't. So basically, all this is a standard Sunday night live stream. We're just going to have a chat about whatever happens to come up. I have got a link to a form, in the video description, and I have shared it in the side chat. And you are free to submit questions for me or Catz. There's 6 questions in already, so we may as well crack on with them straight away. So the first question, and I'm seeing a pattern here, obviously people would much rather ask Catz questions. Yeah. 5 questions for Catz, 1 for me. So I'll get mine out of the way. No, that's for Catz. Oh my god, don't tell me there's 1 for me from 1 Minute Debunk. If water is a chemical, does that mean that chemtrails are real? Now, I did start typing in the side chat that silly questions would get silly answers. I'm not really sure how to answer that, so I'm gonna not answer it. So let's ask Conspiracy Catz's first question, which is from Factard. Oh my god.
Right, fire away.
Don't go expecting anything that's going to tax you too much, Catz, because, like I said, silly questions will get silly answers, but we will ask it anyway. Is a zebra white with black stripes or black with white stripes? And that's from Factard.
Oh, that is what a good question. It has to be. I'm guessing, but I'm going to say it has to be white with black stripes, because there's got to be more pigment produced to make the black stripes, isn't there? So I'm going to say white with black stripes.
There we are. So you heard it here first. White with black stripes. Right. The next one, with a bit of luck, will be slightly more sensible. That was from Factard. What was question number 1? Right. This is an actual question from Tatty Bogle, or Tatty Bogle, from somebody with a lot of T's in their name. How surprised were you when the legendary space comet took off? A true piece of genius. Thank you. And that is from a guy with lots of T's in his names.
You know what? I was massively surprised, because I wasn't aware that it had taken off. I wasn't even aware that the space comet was a thing. I read it out on some comments, but I read loads of stuff out in comments. And then I noticed in the comment, I don't know who it was, in the comment section, that started saying space comet over and over. But then I was bumping into people in chat, and they were just writing in capitals, space comet, right? And I thought, what are they saying that for? Like, I didn't realise that it like gone. So, yeah, I was massively surprised.
And it has, because even in my comment section, every single video I put up, somebody will comment space comma, guaranteed, without fail.
Yeah, it's got a bit like a Team Skeptics dinger, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
Ding, it's just there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Whatever subscriber it was that took hold of that, and they did it. I know Al Lupe, he's done a lot with it, so maybe
Yeah.
he was responsible.
I'm getting like catchphrase envy because all people ever do on my channel is make fun that I haven't got any hair, as if I haven't noticed. So I'm kind of immune to it.
Mate, I'm with you on that one though.
It's like it's do you know it's like I always sort of equate it to like a schoolyard argument. They've got no other ammunition, so they just resort to you smell, and then they run away. It's that kind of mentality. Do you know what I mean? You might, being a teacher, you've seen it firsthand.
Oh, absolutely. Thing is though, I like almost being bald. Like I can actually grow my hair if I want to. I choose to have it like this. I like the idea that I can walk out, and if it's raining, I don't have to worry about
it. Just runs off.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to destroy your hopes for the future, Catz, but that's how I started. I started shaving my head because I thought it looked cool. And then after about 10 years, I thought, I'm going to grow my hair. Because I always had fairly long hair. I used to wear my hair in a ponytail. And so I thought I'm going to grow my hair back. And I'm still waiting. It just refused. I think I made myself go bald.
You've scared your hair away.
It just didn't want to come back. But anyway, enough about my shiny globe.
It's good, mate.
Right, question for Catz. Surprise, surprise. I was out with my sheep, which was tidy like, but that's a Welsh thing. But I do got several chemtrail burns in it. Do you think they are not real? But I know exactly who that's from, and I haven't read that it is yet. It's from Ponty Flat Earth, otherwise known as S2000 GT, in the side chat. I knew it was him. I don't think that's even really a question. You can attempt to answer it if you want to, but...
Yeah, is he talking about when Ranty burnt himself? So, like, are chemtrails real? You know what? No, but they can sort of, like, affect them. But that's a real science, isn't it? They can. Geoengineering is a real science.
Yeah.
But then that's it. Like, I think a lot of people that buy into a lot of conspiracy theories, they'll take something that is real and then just blow it out of all proportion.
Yeah.
Geoengineering is a thing. We can seed clouds. We can make it rain, and then, how that goes to chemtrailing in the sky gives you sunburn, like Randy says. I've no idea.
Do you think, all right, somebody sent this to me, and I wish I'd thought to say, I can't find it now. I did try earlier on today, right? But somebody sent me something, and it was talking about the different types of flat earthers, and he basically, maybe he's in the side chat, I don't know, but what he basically did was categorize them into three, I think it was. And it was something, I could be wrong, right? And if I am, I'll correct myself, because, me being wrong, who would think it? There's the flat earthers who are simply doing it because they've noticed that it will gain them subscribers, get them views, and ultimately earn them money. Then there's the category where they really, truly, albeit a misleaded belief, but they really, truly believe that the Earth is flat. And then the third category are people who are just stupid enough to believe anything they're told.
And it's the third category that get led by the first category.
Yeah.
But I think even some of those in that first category that know it's not true and push it, maybe they did start off genuinely questioning it, because I think doing what we do, I'm sure you're the same. I get a lot of emails about from people who really are genuinely questioning it, and then a couple of months later, I might get an email and they've come to a conclusion one way or the other. It's like maybe those people did start off really believing it, but like your Jeronisms and your Nathan Oakleys, etc. There's no way in the world they can still believe it after spending all this time in it, looking at all the arguments. There's no way, but they're making good money off.
Yeah, exactly. If maybe this is the wrong thing to say on a live stream, but I think anybody is susceptible to pretending to believe in something if the reward is great enough. Because at the end of the day, everybody that does we all work. You don't go to work, even making these videos, right? yeah, we make them for free, but obviously then you've got Patreon and ad revenue and everything. And I just think the people that say that, oh, I'm doing this purely for fun, that's how it started. But I think once it begins to generate an income, it just gives you a bit more enthusiasm about it. So obviously that works equally for people that are putting out flat earth videos and the moon is hollow and, reptiles run the world. Once they get sort of drawn in and hooked with that sort of financial incentive and they go so far down the rabbit hole, at what point do they say, look, this started, it was a joke, I've earned some money from it, it's gone too far, but they can't stop it without making themselves look even more stupid? Because I know a lot of people say that there are some people that really believe the earth is flat, but I'm not sure, see? I'm really not convinced. I still think that they're all, I don't know, they know that they're making money from it and they know they're so far into it, they can't now say, look, it started off as a joke, because nobody wants to look stupid, do they?
But imagine the good, just imagine if someone like Joenism, not Nathan Oakley, because I don't think we'd want him on our side, but if
God, no.
someone like Joenism turned around tomorrow and said, you know what, after all my extensive research, right, I've come to the conclusion that the earth is a globe.
Yeah.
Right, and I am now going to give my arguments why. He could imagine the people who are on the fence that followed him, that he could turn, the people that he could save from going down that rabbit hole of paranoia and stuff. He could even become like bigger than Simon Dan or whatever, couldn't he?
I know. Because it's got to be detrimental in the long term, isn't it? Because, if let's say for a second there are people that genuinely believe the earth is flat. Genuinely, now, there's no doubt in their mind. If they believe that, what else can they believe? And what's more harmful?
Well, I think you're right. And if they do believe it, maybe it's not even what else can they believe, but what else do they have to believe? They have to believe that, all of seismology, all of astronomy, all of, communications, science, et cetera, they have to believe that literally everything is a conspiracy, because you can't have flat earth in isolation.
No, exactly.
It has to come with all that other bolt-on stuff. So literally, you've got to believe in everything.
But this is the thing. The video my video now, not Friday gone, the Friday before, the last video I put out, the last episode of Flat Hard Friday, right? I used a video from another channel, and what they basically did, they took Mark Sargent, Nathan Oakley, Patricia Steer, and a few others, and they demonstrated to them right in front of their eyes, this is what curvature looks like. They had people on one shore, people on the other shore. I think they were 10 miles apart, and they launched a balloon with a huge net hanging between the four balloons, and they couldn't see it from the other side where the flat earthers were and the guy leading the experiment. They couldn't see it until the balloons were 45 feet in the air. Wow. But then they just go, oh yeah, that was just Fata Morgana, and it was refraction, and it proves nothing. So when I see things like that, that's what makes me think that they're just doing it, especially somebody like Mark Sargent. He's got to have made a few quid from it. He must have.
Well, so I was listening to Mark Sargent on YouTube when I was driving to work the other day, and he was saying he's just been picked up to do a TV advert in Australia. And like, I don't think he makes a lot of YouTube. I can't really see him getting many views on YouTube and stuff, but he's all over the place at conferences and being interviewed and selling merchandise.
And he's obviously getting paid for making those appearances, isn't he? Because he'd have to be a complete idiot to not charge for it. Because along with his belief, we'll say, there has come a certain amount of notoriety, isn't there? And people, he's famous within this niche.
He is, but then, like, the fact that he is famous kind of like splits the flat Earth community as well, doesn't it? Because
Yeah.
you get a big group of channels that think he's secretly on our side, discrediting it, and
Yeah.
it's, you know, it's like a pantomime, isn't it, when you really look at it?
It is, yeah. It's just a massive joke. Anyway, more questions because we're up to 22 now. Right then, question again for Conspiracy Cats. Shock horror from Frederick Seagard. According to Bob Noodle Doodle, since static charge is the force that keeps us down, theoretically, how much of a reverse static field should be generated to allow us to be floating in midair, and who should get the Nobel Prize?
That's one hell of a question. I'm not fully sure I understand it, but I did a video on that, the static charge thing, and looking at how it would affect, you know, metallic objects more than it would affect, you know, like normal objects, and everything, you know, everything would fall at a different rate. You know, it's crazy.
The thing that always gets me with regards to things falling and gravity doesn't exist is, and you've said it in videos, loads of people have said, how does it know to go that way?
Yeah. Well, I had a chat with, when it wasn't a debate, he just I had a Skype message last Sunday from Paquette Word, and he said, "Listen, I'm going live. Do you want to come on and we'll have a friendly chat?"
Yeah.
So I didn't want to try and hold him to account like I did with Nathan Thompson. It was just a chilled thing. But one of the things I brought up was that, you know, the directional influence and how the density of the air all around an object will be either the same or you know, if you go high enough up, it will be even less. And so I said there has to be a directional influence, and he just it just went straight over his head, and he just said no, there wouldn't have to be. Just how can you even acknowledge that is not a genuine question?
Yeah, but the thing is, what he's done there, he's saying no, there can't be, but he hasn't offered an explanation as to why. And this is something they always do. Like I was going to say, that video I did last Friday, one of the points that stood out for me, and a few people picked up on it in the comments, and it was very near the end. And once they had done the two experiments, the balloons and then the boat going out with the stripes that disappear as it goes over the horizon, yeah, they just, it was Nathan Thompson and some other guy with a dodgy beard and a ponytail. I'm not sure who he was, but they just started, because they couldn't get the guy to bend at all with their view on the shape of the Earth, they just started hitting him then with, yeah, but the moon landings were faked. And it's like, what the hell is that going to do with the price of fish? You're talking about flat Earth, and they've just demonstrated the curve, and you are now throwing a little paddy, stamping your feet on the floor and going, yeah, but the moon. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's and it's the way they say it as well. Like, you know, how many times have we heard them say something like, yeah, but the moon landing's been debunked loads of times, just a fact. You know, like, oh, is it? Oh, there you go.
I know, but it just, I don't know, it just drives me nuts. Right, another question for you. From the Mighty One, and he put this in the comments somewhere earlier. Apart from physics, what other fields of science do you find the most fascinating, and why?
Ooh, good question. I think the whole genetic sort of research, you know, how we can use viruses to insert, like retroviruses to insert genes and stuff. You know, all that genetic modification I think is fascinating. But when I was at uni, my degree wasn't in physics, my degree was in biology. And when I did my master's, I actually did it on sexual selection. And I had my room. So at the time, that was the kind of thing that I liked, sort of like evolution. For my dissertation, I had to go and collect beetles. And I had about 450 beetles, like little green dot beetles, in my room. And a little cage, and every single day I had to pick out a male beetle and female beetles that I measured and watch the males fight to see which one would have sex with the female and make it pregnant. And I did that for 6 months while everyone else was out, like, you know, doing proper science. Yeah. I was watching beetles have sex in my bedroom. It was great.
Sounds pretty rock and roll.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna say that's my favourite, but it was certainly interesting.
Right, so I hope that's answered the question, because I'm so excited there's a question for me. I'm sure it'll be something deep and meaningful. The question is from Mr. James. How was your holiday? Awesome. It was very hot. I got very sunburnt and very drunk every day. So it was very good, thank you. Right, let's click to the next question, which I'm fairly sure will be for you. No, it's for me again. From Colon. How was your holiday? Did you get your white bits all tanned? Right, next question is for Conspiracy Cat. How does anyone ever listen to QE without a face palm mitt nearby? Quantum Eraser, that is, isn't it?
Oh God, yeah, he's so sure of himself, isn't he? He's unbelievable. But I love his style. Right? I do love his style. That he just doesn't give a toss, does he? He will go on any website, copy and paste any definition, put it into not even PowerPoint, read it for half an hour, and then Nathan Oakley will say, "What a fantastic presentation." Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I love it. I think he's brilliant. Although he's not so keen on me after I did that video on him.
No. What, a flat earther that doesn't like one of us? Absolutely shocking.
I know. We're so nice to them as well, aren't we?
Exactly. Good hair, everything. What more could you want? Just very quickly, let me address the side chat. I'm not really watching the chat tonight, guys, right? Because I've got the form down in the description. So I will address the super chats. I think there's only been one so far, but I'll address them nearer the end. But if you do have anything you want to say to either Catz or myself, can you please do it through that form, just so that I haven't got to overly tax myself and crick my neck looking from one screen to the other. So thank you very much. And the next question, a good evening, Radical the Unhallowed Night. And Kiri Mac, and Robert Legia, and Turquoise Laura, and I think I saw Marvel Girl. Anyone else? Hello. Right, next question. I wonder who it's for. Oh, right, question for Conspiracy Cats from 1 Minute Debunk. Does the fact that the weak nuclear force breaks parity symmetry? What? Mean that the universe is just fundamentally weird and broken? Have I said that right? Parity?
Yeah, we see when we teach that at A level, we don't go as deep as that. We just talk about the strong nuclear force and the weak nuclear force. So he's a clever guy. He's 1 minute debunk. I think he's shooting a little bit of a level above my head there. We don't go into it that deeply. We just go into the range of the forces, etc. So yeah, I'll leave that for one of his videos. By the way, I'm a big fan of 1 Minute Debunk's channel. I think his stuff's really good. He's obviously
awesome,
a really clever guy.
A question for Creaky from Ian Gorse. Can we have a look at the drawing on the back wall? I'm assuming you mean this one, because it's the only one there. This was done by Otto von Skidmark, and it's me, Phuket Word, and Daniel Pratt. So there's the answer to my question. I'll put that back later. Right, we're up to 31 questions now. We've only done 12. Oh, another one for me. What is the dumbest flat earth theory you've ever heard? I can answer that really quickly and really simply. That the earth is flat. That is the dumbest theory. Next, please. Another one for me. How do we survive watching all the nut job channels? I don't know which way Catz works it, but generally, I've got to be honest, I don't watch the videos first. I watch the first couple of minutes to see if it's something I'm going to be able to react to. Or sometimes somebody will send me a video and say, you've got to make a video about this, which I do. So when you watch my video and you see my reactions to that video, those are generally the reactions I've made the first time I've watched it. The only exception recently has been my latest video, which I did watch through a couple of times first. So that's how I survive it. What about you, Catz?
I don't tend to watch anywhere near as much as people might think. Because I do quite a lot of traveling in the car, I'll maybe create a playlist of videos that I think I might want to react to, and then I'll just listen to them in the car. And if one of them catches my attention, then I'll do that. But I can use dead time. So if I'm in the kitchen making something to eat, then I'll listen to them then. But I don't sit and watch them per se. I just have them on when I wouldn't be doing anything in the background.
Yeah, that is bit because I don't know. Everybody seems to think that all we watch is flat Earth videos and conspiracy videos, and I don't, because I never want to be as nuts as any of the people in those videos. So I try to limit it only to when I'm going to need the content to react to. Next question is for both of us. From John N. If provided proof they would accept, would the typical flat earther be preaching the same altered reality crap if just for the attention they get on the internet?
Go on, you first.
Yes, they would, because they already know the earth isn't flat and they're saying it is. So, of course they would, because, and especially if it's somebody like Nathan Oakley that's been in it for a long time, he doesn't want to look any more of a dick than he already does. So, of course, he's going to continue to say it is flat even when he knows it's a sphere, because he already does. But that's just my opinion.
I'm kind of split with that. I think that there are people, like you said, like with Nathan Oakley, that would. But I think there are some people that it would destroy their world. Like literally, if they found out that the world wasn't flat. I think some people invest so much into it. And like we said before, because you invest in flat earth, you have to believe so many other things. And you create this like magical, mystical world around you. And for that to be robbed, I think that would really hurt some people.
It's like they have to believe in a whole alternative reality, isn't it?
Yeah. It is like complete fantasy land, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Right, the next question is from 1 Minute Debunk, and I'm not sure whether I want to ask this because it's got demonetization written all over it.
Okay.
So sorry, 1 Minute Debunk, I'm not going to ask that. I'm sure you'll know which one it is, because I know that the offence police are closely monitoring YouTube, and after not uploading anything for a week, I can't afford to have this demonetized. So next, please. Question for both of us from Tiffany. Since Flat Earth is getting old, what other topics are you looking into covering in the future? Now, that is a very interesting question. Because obviously, now this is just how I feel about it. Catz will say how he feels about it himself. But to me, it's getting... I feel like I'm just saying the same thing over and over again. Because they are just saying the same thing over and over again. And it's always the same nonsense, slightly differently packaged. And I'm finding that it's getting to the point now where what more can you say without continuously repeating yourself? And if you continuously repeat yourself, you're at the risk of stifling your own ability to either be entertaining or be funny or be educational, or because, you know, even like my approach is very different from yours and Simon Dan's and Fight the Flat Earth, Team Skeptic and all the other guys. I basically just point and laugh. I'm a semi-professional piss taker. But you approach it from a science. Oh, see, Illuminati confirmed. Sorry, accidental. You fight their nonsense with a scientific rebuttal. But even that method can only go so far, because you'll end up that you'll just be saying the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, I'm already at that point. You know, how many times like can we talk about, you know, atmospheric pressure gradients and, you know, Polaris and seismic waves and so on and so on. So, but in terms of other topics, it's a great question. I'm obviously I've got the two channels. I've got the Baldy Catz and the Conspiracy Catz one. The Baldy Catz channel, I want to grow into something that's more purposeful. So I want to do sort of like science education lessons on there for, you know, for like kids. But a lot of the, being a teacher myself, a lot of the science education stuff that's out there is really boring on YouTube. It's really, so I want to see if I can make it a little bit more entertaining. But on the Conspiracy Catz channel, because I mean, in fact, we had a bit of a text chat, didn't we, the other day about something similar, Creaky, didn't we? Where,
yeah.
You know, essentially what I want to do is I want to take the format, the Conspiracy Catz format of having the comments and having the silly songs and having the cut bits and that, but to apply it to a whole range of stuff. So tomorrow, I'm actually doing one where I look at, filming one where I look at the election for the new UK Prime Minister, but with the complete Conspiracy Catz format, with some flat earth thrown in there as well, just as a tester to see how it goes. And then if that goes well, if it doesn't, I don't know what I'm going to do. But if it goes well, then I might just apply that format to a whole range of different topics.
Yeah, because I sort of feel there's I'm just going to drop a link in the side chat, right? This is to a channel called Trigger Tro. Now, he hasn't uploaded for over a year, but I was kind of binge watching him when I was away on holiday, and he is absolutely hysterical. He's a young American guy, but he basically he's looked at flat Earth. That's how I discovered him, and I stole the title from my last video from his, Flat Earthers Flat Earthing, but he's got part 1 and part 2. And then he's got things like there's a TV show, Strange Addiction or Strange Obsession or something. There's a woman who's addicted to drinking animal blood. She drinks a gallon of animal blood a day. He does a lot with Dr. Phil, and you know that Catch Me Outside girl, that Danielle Bregoli, that obnoxious little American girl. He did a lot of videos on her, and he's had some real big success, but he does it in the same way I do it. His video style is very similar to mine, except he doesn't show his face. And, you know, I'm interested in... I just enjoy the whole process of making a video and making people smile. And I don't care whether I'm talking about flat Earth, how cold penguin piss is. It makes no difference to me. But I'm also very mindful of the fact that I'm on... What am I on? I'm on like 8,000... I'm not sure what I'm on. I haven't looked... for at least 10 minutes. I'm on 8,284 subscribers, and I'm very mindful of the fact that 99.9% of those people are here for flat Earth and conspiracy videos. So at what point do you risk straying away from that path? You know, is it going to massively hurt the channel, or is it going to bring in a wider audience? How do you know?
I don't know. I see what you're saying, but I think your videos, you know, I like watching them because I like your opinions and the way you put them across, and the production quality of your videos is great. And I think, yeah, people are going to be more interested in certain topics than others, and that might mean that you get maybe less views if you do I'm not expecting many views on my election one tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm expecting that not to get many, but I don't think that will mean that people that don't watch it maybe would unsubscribe. They'll hang around and wait until I do a topic they want to watch. So
yeah,
I'm not too worried about that. You know, I think as long as we're not doing anything inappropriate and we're driving people away with like inappropriate stuff.
Yeah.
I think people will still hang around.
Yeah, you know, like I've asked sort of in my community tab and things before, you know, what other sorts of things would you like to see me cover? But it always seems to revolve around flat Earth and conspiracy, which I enjoy, and I still enjoy doing it. It's just, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, it's getting more and more difficult to make something original.
Yeah.
When you've only got the same things to work with.
It is, yeah. I mean, like the topics they bring up, you type in flat Earth and you get people dropping stuff or putting stuff in water and saying gravity doesn't exist. You know, you get people looking at star trails and analysing them badly. And you get people taking long distance photographs and drawing false conclusions. And that's about it. You know, there's very little, isn't there, in terms of variety. And how many times can we talk about density and buoyancy? You know, it drives me nuts.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what it is. But anyway, next question for both of us from I'm Gonna Get You 43. What got us into debunking the stupidity? What got you to start making your current videos? Do you want to go first this time, Catz?
Okay, yeah. I'll be dead quick. But a kid at school brought to me a flat Earth video. It was Dell's video where he poured water over a football. And the kid said to me, like, what do you make of this? And the kid was dead excited, you know, not that they believed that the Earth was flat, but it was a kid that wasn't interested in science at all. But because we were talking about something that they found entertaining, I thought, you know what, if I maybe contact a flat earther on the internet and have like a discussion with them, I can show that to the entire class. And as a class, you know, maybe that might engage them to be a little bit more, you know, to ask questions more and to be a little bit more interested in science. So contacted obviously Anthony Riley and had a discussion with him. And when I left the discussion, I realized just how stupid he was and just how he lacked any kind of basic understanding of any science whatsoever. And I thought, I want to address that, you know, but obviously the more we address it, it doesn't change anything. does it?
No,
It doesn't make a
exactly,
difference.
exactly. The thing is, though, right? What you were saying there about the way Anthony Riley makes himself sound, that's exactly, and I got no problem with saying it because, like I say, I will always be honest with people. That's why I don't use any sort of in-depth scientific, because I don't understand it. I'm a sign maker, a graphic designer. I'm not a scientist. So why would I pretend to understand something I don't at the risk of making myself look like a complete idiot? It's easier for me to just give my honest feelings and opinions on things, because you don't need a degree in physics, biology, or a degree in anything to know that the Earth is a sphere.
Exactly. It's,
Do
you
you know what I
so
mean?
obvious.
And this is why I feel my approach is so different, because I thought, how did the question start? Why did you what got you into debunking the stupidity? I say to people all the time, I don't debunk anything. I just point and laugh. I do not debunk anything at all. You debunk stuff, Conspiracy Catz. Simon Dan does. Fight the Flat Earth does. Team Skeptic does. I don't debunk anything.
But if flat earthers took that approach, I mean, like, thing is, I really like the videos you put out, but like, if you say, if it's a topic and you don't fully grasp the science behind it, you'll say that. The flat earthers need to take a leaf out there, because the flat earthers aren't doing that. The flat earthers don't understand it, but are making videos, preaching that they understand it and preaching that the whole of academia has got the science wrong, I mean, it drives me nuts. But that's the theme of the political video I'm putting out tomorrow, because I don't understand politics at all. I'll hold my hand up. I haven't got a clue. So, that's what I'm going to be saying in the video. So I don't understand it. I'm going to be looking at other people's opinions.
Yeah.
And then taking the piss, if I'm honest.
Because the thing is, with it's interesting with politics. I'll be honest, I don't follow politics either. But it's very opinion based.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on it. And my only opinion is that if Boris Johnson gets in, we'll have our very own Donald Trump. So
I was cutting some clips together of Boris Johnson this morning, and some of the things I just forget how crazy,
he's nuts.
He's been in the past.
I was watching something of him on TV last night. It was it was on Friday. I think we had just got home. We were chilling out on Gogglebox was on, and one of the shows they were looking at, Boris Johnson and Jeremy Hunt were being interviewed. I can't remember the guy's name now, but anyway, he was banging on about this article, and he was pushing Boris Johnson for an answer, and he said, "You don't know what's in the article, do you?" And Boris just went, "I haven't got a clue." And he's potentially going to be running the country in a few weeks. And it was something, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was pretty important stuff. And he just went, "I haven't got a clue."
My favourite Boris Johnson moment. Have you ever seen when he was playing in Soccer Aid?
No.
Well, you know the Soccer Aid were like, you have celebrities and ex-footballers.
Yeah.
Well, if anyone gets a chance later on, I've got this in the video tomorrow. He played in one of the first Soccer Aids, right? And there's this ex-German professional footballer that just retired, and he tries to tackle him, but he doesn't tackle him. Honest to God, I'm not making this up. What he honestly does is he runs towards him and then flying headbutts him in the nuts. And this guy is out on the floor.
He is completely batshit crazy, isn't he?
It's brilliant. When I say brilliant, I don't mean politically brilliant. I just mean the guy's hilarious.
Right, where are we? Next question, because it's up to 57 now, and I've only... Right, okay, anyway, concentration. It's a question from me, from Mr. James, so probably another question that won't get properly answered. My parents are total conspiracy nihilists, and they used to think the Earth was flat, and through my research, I was able to convince them that it's not. Have you ever been able to convince a flat earther that it's not flat? Again, it's going to be a very short answer. I've never tried to, because, like I say, and I know Catz and I slightly disagree on this, but I think they're all just pretending. So somebody asked me again, and this ties into this question. They asked me in my comment section the other day, why am I... They didn't ask me. They said, I'm too much of a coward to debate anyone. And I choose not to debate anyone because, thank you, because I just think, and I say this with the greatest of respect for all you guys that do debate people, but it doesn't change anything. It's like arguing with a rock.
It is. I think, I mean, I don't do many. I think I've maybe done 3, in the entire time I've been here. And it is like that. I think if you get a platform that's big enough, which is why I was really keen to do the one on Simon Dan's channel, you will get you will get a significant number of people who are on the fence watching. And if they're on the fence and they can see, like when I debate Nathan Thompson, I didn't go in with the attitude of I want to change his mind. And I think I even said that, I wasn't there to change his mind. What I was there for was to show all the people that were on the fence in the chat that he had no idea what he was talking about.
Yeah.
When he brought up thermodynamics, I wanted to show everybody that he didn't understand anything about thermodynamics, etc. And I hope that if maybe you can discredit the source, the people who are on the fence might just lose faith in him.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only good that can come out of it.
Yeah. No, I would tend to agree with that because I think I think the chances of changing the mind of somebody like Nathan Thompson are about the same as me needing to comb my hair tomorrow when I get up for work. It's just not going to happen. Okay, question number 19 for both of us. Do you think that humans will make... Hang on a sec, sorry. Do you think that humans will soon make use of dark energy for space travel?
You go first with that one.
I was hoping you'd know what he meant because I haven't got a clue what he's on about.
Well, I mean, my limited understanding of dark energy at the minute is that we're not 100% even sure what it is. I mean, we know that the universe is expanding at an ever-increasing rate. So there has to be something causing that. But that's pretty much where my knowledge of dark energy ends. But I find all that stuff dead fascinating. So what I might even do is go and spend a couple of weeks reading up on that. And
it's the same with me. For me to have any knowledge of anything, I've got to have an interest in it, or something's got to catch my attention. And I'm aware that dark energy is a thing, but I know nothing about what it is. Next question, very topical from TC Lucas. Do we think that the people will actually try to storm Area 51?
You know what? Some of the kids at school were asking me that this week. They said, "Sir, you're going to go and storm Area 51," and I had no idea what they were talking about.
Yeah.
I had to ask one of them. No, I don't. Or at least if they are, I hope the stupid ones go first.
Yeah. I put something on my Instagram feed this week. It just amused me and it was relevant to that. But basically, what the guy was saying is somebody said it as a joke. And then all the sort of the geeks and the nerds, he said, there'll be a group of people that will move away from playing Dungeons and Dragons and crawl out of their mum's basement and actually try and do it. But the thing is, because I think I read that their theory behind it is they can't stop everyone, they can't kill everyone. But it's a top secret military base. They're not going to get... And what to make it even funny, they've actually told, right, we're gonna mass storm Area 51 on September the 25th or whatever it was. So they've announced when they're coming. So they've completely removed the element of surprise anyway. So not the smartest plan in the world, but there we are. I'm sure some people will, because there are a lot of stupid people in the world.
But even if they did, I mean, maybe I'm sounding a bit conspiratorial here, but obviously Area 51, they are doing some sort of, they're testing some sort of planes that they've made themselves, or they're doing something they want to keep secret. But if they had the remains of aliens and UFOs and stuff, which I'd love to think they did, you know what I mean? But if they did have that, the last place they would keep it is Area 51.
Yeah.
When everybody in the world believes that that's where it will be, you know what I mean? If they've got that kind of stuff, it will be somewhere completely different.
Probably Dell's shed.
Yeah.
There we are saying about Area 50. So what's your opinion on aliens?
You know what? They have, in my mind, they have to exist. You know, the universe is that big, but the questions are like, the universe is that old. So if they exist and they're in some sort of contactable distance from us, which is going to be unlikely as well, have they reached that age where they're capable of communication before we did, and then they've died out? Or are they going to reach that? You know, are we the first ones to reach that stage and others will? So for everything to come right, where we are existing now at the same time they are, and we're in a reachable distance, and they've developed the technology to come and get, you know, I'd love, I'm not saying it's impossible, and I'd love to think it was true. You know, so I guess it's on my wish list, but
yeah, because I think, yes, there is other life out in the universe somewhere, but I don't think it's been to Earth, because the distances involved and the time to travel those distances is just too great. So, UFOs are exactly that. They're just unidentified flying objects. And is there an alien craft at Area 51? I'm going to say no. I don't think there is. Unless somebody can present me with something credible that this is, here it is. Look, you can look at it, you can touch it. This isn't it. I need to see something to know it's true. So I'm fairly sure there is other life in the universe somewhere, but I don't think it's been here. I really don't. Although,
have you heard of a tardigrade?
No.
Now, tardigrade, in fact, I first come across them on, so they are real, but like on the new Star Trek Discovery series on Netflix, there was a giant tardigrade in there. But I've seen a lot of videos on tardigrades, and I've looked at them, and they're this tiny, tiny, tiny little creature, and they're virtually sort of like indestructible. They can live, they've got this way of protecting themselves in extreme conditions.
Yeah.
And they, I mean, I wouldn't say they're necessarily immortal, but they're almost indestructible.
Yeah.
And tardigrades have been tested. They've literally been taken into space, into the vacuum of space, and then brought back from space. And not only did they survive, but while they were out there, they were mating and having kids, little tardigrade offspring. And because they're so different to anything we've got, there is a theory. So an exobiologist was saying on a YouTube video I was watching, that perhaps because they can survive those host conditions, perhaps they were brought to Earth on a comet or an asteroid originally. Yeah. Maybe they are aliens.
And that's the thing as well, see, we've all got this picture in our mind of an alien being like a grey, the traditional big hairless head with big massive black eyes, haven't we?
Yeah.
But like you say, something in, you know, like you were just describing, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, I don't know. But, you know, going back to Area 51 and it being I think there's some things that need to stay a secret. I don't think we need to know everything, because ignorance is bliss in some instances.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to know if UFOs were out there. Except, I mean, if it was an asteroid coming towards, would I want to know about that? If they were trying to fend an asteroid off, I don't know.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's the thing. See, there's some things I think we need not know. Like, and that's a perfect example. If there's a gigantic asteroid hurtling towards Earth now that's going to wipe us out at 9 o'clock tomorrow night, I don't really want to know, mate.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Somebody, I'll just sorry, Catz, very quickly, right? 9 o'clock Hero has just donated $4.99 through Super Chat. And this is relevant to you and I. £100 to whichever one of us makes the funniest video on Boris Johnson, and the video must get at least 200 likes.
Well, my video is all ready to film almost, so I'll be filming tomorrow.
Right, okay, and I will start researching, and by researching I mean the classic flat earther style, watching YouTube videos about Boris Johnson. Right then, next question. How concerned are you about, this is for you by the way, Catz, how concerned are you about climate change and its effects on biodiversity and survivability of future generations? Many globe deniers and Bible thumpers don't seem to be concerned.
Yeah. No, I am. Like, in the specification, like we teach at school, like we do look at both sides of it, and we do look at the possibility that climate change could just be just a part of an ongoing variation, and we're misinterpreting the data and stuff. I don't necessarily believe that. It ties in too closely with the industrial age. For me, it links too well on the rate of change, etc. But I'm not concerned for me, and I'm not even concerned for me kids, but maybe their kids.
Yeah.
Because if you only need minor changes in, suddenly one little insect or pest can now live in a different part of the world, or tiny changes to the ecosystem can have massive effects.
Yeah, they can. And that's kind of it's wording it correctly, but the issue will become more of an issue the more time that passes, but I don't think it'll be within our lifetime, our kids' lives. I know my kids are older than yours, but I think, maybe 3 or 4 generations down the line, I think it may then become, a worldwide issue that, they're gonna be looking for fixes for, and what are those fixes gonna be?
From everything I hear, I don't really research climate change a lot. I think when I come around to doing videos on it, I will. But from everything I do know about it, that it is, we're nowhere near the point where it's too far to make changes yet.
No. No.
There are lots of interesting ideas out there.
Okie dokie. Next question. Oh, for me. Mr. James. Who is this Mr. James? He's full of questions tonight. I'd even go as far as to say he's a nosy get. What is my name? My name is the Creaky Blinder. What is your favourite colour? Black, because it matches my heart and my humour. What is the top velocity of an unladen swallow? I don't know, and I equally don't care. Question 23 for both of us, from Lisa, is it? Spelt bizarrely, L-E-I-S-A. Have the changes in YouTube's policies put a crimp in your style? That is a good question, actually.
Yeah.
At this stage, I'm going to have to say I don't really know. I'm assuming that she's referring to the alleged censorship of flat earth content. And I don't agree with censorship. But I also think that's hard to answer, because what I'm going to say is completely contradictory. I don't agree with censorship. No, I don't know how to say it, but I think content like flat earth content and content like Russian vids makes, has it got a place on YouTube? I'm not sure. And then, is that censorship, which I do disagree with? I think as long as it doesn't hurt anyone, or potentially threaten anyone's lives, I think we should be free to say anything we want. But I don't know, because they are clamping down. I put an article in my Discord the other day, and I think it was a BBC article, if I remember correctly, and they are blaming YouTube 100% for the size of the flat earth movement.
I think the internet definitely has helped propagate it. I reckon, almost anybody that's into the flat earth now will have got that from YouTube. But I think there's a difference between censorship and not perhaps promoting stuff. So
yeah,
I can't ever see, any video that I ever do with, because I've got flat earth and the tags, etc. I can't ever see that hitting the trending. Not that it would anyway, but like hitting the trending page. I don't think they're promoting it. Has it changed the way I make my videos? It did for about a week. For about a week, instead of using the term flat Earth, I use the term globe denier, and I put that in the tags. And then I thought, oh, you know what, stuff it. So no, I've not changed one bit really.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've not changed a bit. But I am going to start, like we said earlier on, just like looking at different topics.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But you know what's going to happen, don't you? Well, this is what I think's going to happen anyway, is the bigger flat Earth channels and the bigger conspiracy channels, the channels with a greater following, they are all going to think that we are running away from it because we can't win. But it's not that. It's getting repetitive.
The thing is, the content we've got out there is always going to stay out there, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know, it's always going to be
exactly.
there.
Exactly.
And if somebody makes, the only time, like if one of them made a comment or made a video, you know, calling us out and saying, oh, you know, the globe tards or whatever are running away, then that makes for a brilliant response. But that's a justified reason there to make.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because you know, saying about response videos now, they must know when they're putting those videos up that they're going to be responded to. They must.
Well, they're out there they're putting stuff out there for people to watch and for interaction, aren't they? You know,
yeah.
You'd have to. You'd have to imagine someone's going to respond to it. But I think that's what a lot of them feed off, isn't it? Some of them, you know. But yeah, what was the original question? Censorship, wasn't it?
I can't even remember. Hang on a sec. The original question was, how have the changes in YouTube's policies altered our styles? They haven't at all, would be my simple, straightforward answer, yet.
Yeah, I'd agree, me too.
Next question. Okay, it's on the same theme, actually. It's from OBeep, and it's for both of us. If flat earthers get totally banned off YouTube, what's next for you both? They won't get totally banned. Because I think, from everything I've read, and I could be wrong, I don't think they're not... There's an article, and they're not banning it. They're saying they're not censoring it. They're just making it so that it doesn't appear in people's suggested videos. So a channel can grow by showing up in suggested and watch this because you've watched that. Flat Earth and conspiracy videos won't get that privilege, if you like.
I think I'd probably do Morris dancing lessons, maybe, or a bit of crochet.
Why not? Why not? Do you see my Flat Earth tree hugger video? She had 1 million subscribers, and that's how she started off, doing crocheting videos. And she was nuts, nuttier than a squirrel turd. And the funny thing was, as soon as she started putting up Flat Earth videos, she's got like I think it was 1.3 million subscribers. She was getting like less than 100 views on her videos. And all her older crocheting videos, when she was a normal old lady, they've got millions of views. Millions of views. So, don't make Flat Earth videos, kids. Make crocheting videos. Mr. James is asking me an awful lot of questions tonight. I'm starting... NASA is going back to the moon in 2020, I think. How do you feel about that? Awesome. Can I go with them? So I can take photos with my phone and show everyone that it's actually a globe.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
I was watching all the moon landing stuff this week, and you know, like they showed the live replay, because I always wondered growing up, like, what must it have been like to have watched that live? You know, the first time. I thought it was brilliant. I'd love to be able to live through another.
Yeah.
Somebody does something like that.
Yeah, I think even at our ages, Catz, we'll make it to 2020. We should get to see it.
We'll see. Yeah, depends how many flat earthers get their hands on me first.
Yeah. This isn't really a question, so I'm not going to answer that. Flat Earth, globe Earth, don't you know it's a cube? Where did you both go to school? Mwahaha. Very clever. Right. Question for us both from Rebel Wolf. Why is it that globes are always the ones... Right. Why is it that globes are always the ones expected to prove a globe Earth, When are the flat earthers going to be made to prove that the Earth is flat with photographic evidence of the ice wall, for example? Well, they never will, because you can't take a picture of something that doesn't exist. And the burden of proof is already on them anyway, because it's already... we know the Earth is a sphere. We don't need to prove something that's... I don't need to prove to people watching this that Conspiracy Catz has got 3 guitars and a ukulele hanging on the wall behind him. We can all see. It's right there. So... we do, in the same way as I can see that and you can all see that, only a complete dick can't see that the Earth is a globe. And when I say see, I don't mean without eyes, you know, with all the evidence that demonstrates it. Does that make sense? Kind of. I lost myself a bit then.
No, it does. And I've been thinking a lot about this, because I've had loads of comments on my channel lately, and been watching videos where flat earthers are saying, you know the rhetoric they come out with, the burden of proof is on those making the affirmative claim to use tangible substance, all that bullshit. And essentially, as long as the flat earthers are saying, you know, the people who believe in the globe have to prove it, then that's the best position to be in, because literally 99.9999% of the world's population believe in the globe.
Yeah.
So who cares if a flat earther sat there saying, you must convince me that the globe is real? I couldn't give a shit.
Yeah, it's exactly the same as me.
If they can't step up and say, all right, you know what, I'm going to put doubt in your mind, then they are literally doing... But what are they doing? They're doing so...
Yeah,
you know,
it's like people have said to me in my comment section, why do I care if there are people saying that the Earth is flat? And I always say to them, I don't. I just think it's really funny. And I started making videos about it, and it just got funnier. I don't care. They can think the Earth is made of chocolate buttons for all I care, and shaped like a 50p piece. It's no skin off my ass. I couldn't give a monkeys. It's just very funny how there can be people that messed up.
I agree. I think, like, for me, like, same as you, someone can believe whatever they want to believe. I've not got a problem. And if somebody wants to come to me and say, like, I believe the Earth is flat, can you prove to me it's a globe? And they don't take my advice, fine. But what I don't like are people like, you know, your Nathan Oakleys, your Quantum Erasers, your Nathan Thompsons, who will try and manipulate people into falling for the nonsense by misrepresenting the science, you know, by saying the second law of thermodynamics says we shouldn't have a vacuum next to space, the entropy says we shouldn't have a vacuum next to the atmosphere, etc. Sorry, and when they start misrepresenting science to people who are maybe a little bit uneducated and vulnerable, then they can turn them, you know, down a path that really they shouldn't be going down. So I don't mind what they believe, but if they're gonna try and convince somebody, they need to be honest about it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of my biggest problems with it is, I know I said I don't care, but my kind of worry is what they could be doing to easily influence people.
Yeah.
They're creating the next generation of morons. Actually, before we go, I've got a question for my viewing audience. And you all seem to love to correct me. Somebody has just corrected me via Super Chat, so he was happy to pay to correct me. So let me re-evaluate what's on the wall behind you. It's 1 bass, 2 guitars, and 1 ukulele. Not 3 guitars and a ukulele. I apologise humbly. Anyway, question for you, Catz. How did you get involved in debunking flat? Oh, we've already answered this question earlier on in the video, so watch it again. I need the watch time. Question 29 for Catz. Have you learned how to say atmosphere yet?
Atmosphere. Will that do?
Yes.
Is it my accent?
Yeah, so people seem to think I've got an accent as well. I don't hear it myself, but MA2 Fletcher Eisler asks you, what do you say to flat earthers who say the Coriolis effect is not real, or it is not because of Earth's rotation?
Oh my, wow, God, what a good question. I mean, like, I'd have to ask them why they thought it wasn't You know what I mean? It's one of those things like a flat earth is saying there's no curvature because I can't see it with my naked eye. You know, they can't see storms rotating in opposite directions. They'd have to then look at the weather reports and meteorology and trust the information that's coming from them, wouldn't they?
Which they wouldn't. They would just say it was bullshit.
Exactly. And this is the point I made to Paquette Word the other day as well. You know, or a similar point. If the Earth was not a globe, right, and we look at predicting the weather, we know how to predict the weather. I don't think that's, you know, we get our weather, we know how it's predicted, and we can predict it all over the world. And the people who are predicting the weather are using software and satellite pictures of a globe Earth, right? And they are making those correct predictions. So if the Earth was flat, that would mean that we'd have an accurate way of predicting the weather on a flat Earth, but the secret power behind the flat Earth conspiracy, they would keep that science secret from everybody else, and they would have to invent the entirety of meteorology, which is based on a globe Earth and the satellites, and then somehow leak the correct predictions into that kind of whole institution.
But this is another thing about the whole flat Earth belief system, isn't it? It's all based on a massive secret that they are keeping.
Yeah.
And that's, in my opinion, that's why it's completely pathetic and laughable. But there we are. Ooh, a question for me. Just to be biased to graphic design, do you use a tablet and stylus in your design, and at what resolution do you find best to use? I don't use a tablet and stylus, I just use a mouse because that's what I've always used. And when you say what resolution is best to use, it depends what you mean. If I'm exporting JPEGs, I will always do it at the highest resolution available, which on my PC... at standard is 300 dpi, but if I'm sending it to print, I'll boost it up to 3000 dpi for better print quality. How exciting. But if you're interested, that's my answer. A question for Catz from Bill Ashby. How are you enjoying your newfound fame? Newfound fame? What does he know that I don't?
Bill Ashby's a great guy. He's been commenting on my channel for ages. I really like it because I do lose people in the comments sometimes now. It's really difficult to keep up with everybody. So I do like it when I see people who've been around for ages. So Bill, thanks for all your comments and stuff over the past 12 months. It's been great. Yeah, I think fame's going a little bit far. But yeah. I mean, I still consider myself Stephen Steen. Thank you. So I still consider my channel to be really small, to be honest. It's hopefully it'll get bigger, but
yeah,
I'm happy with the way it's growing.
Yeah. I feel exactly the same. It's, I cannot believe that I'm at nearly 10,000 subscribers for doing what I do. There can't be much on telly.
I look back and I think I'm looking at my subscribers today and how many I've picked up, and I'm thinking, why? Why the hell? I sit in this room with my phone. This is the phone here that I film with. I've got a phone and I stick it on that amp as my tripod. And then I film myself being a dick. And people subscribe to it. It blows my mind. It absolutely blows my mind.
Do you know, though, it is really, like the question then from Bill Ashby, I've got some subscribers and commenters that continuously keep coming up over and over again, and some of the things they say, it kind of restores your faith in humanity, that there are actually some really nice people out there. It's like, Andrew, the guy I had on who was one of the actors that played Darth Vader.
Yeah.
He was my 8th subscriber, number 8.
Wow.
He remembers subscribing to me, and I only had 7 subscribers, and 2 of those were my accounts.
So Darth Vader was one of your 10 subscribers.
Yeah. It's nuts, it is. And like I say, there's certain subscribers that they just keep coming up, but that applies both ways. The nasty ones come up over and over again, but they're going to have to come up with something other than I'm bald, because I have actually noticed. But some of the nice things that get said to me, it's like, you know, people have somebody commented a while back, and I can remember who he was, but I won't say who he was. And he was in recovery from cancer, and he said that watching my videos was the only, well, I can't remember the exact words, but it was the only thing making him feel happy for those sort of 10, 15 minutes. And you know, when somebody says something to you like that, you'd have to be a liar to say that it doesn't make you feel awesome and really boosts your ego, I suppose.
It is nice to you.
It is. Everybody likes to hear nice things about them. Right, question number 33. For me, so that I don't feel left out, thanks Doc Shapley, do you think humans will make it to Mars and set up a base in our lifetime? I don't know. I'd like to think so, because I love Total Recall. It was awesome. And in my mind, that's what Mars is going to be like. I don't think they will, if I'm being honest. Because I think because it's so much further. I know, like, we've been to the moon and we're going back to the moon, but I think the distance to Mars is so much greater that if the technology we've got now can kind of just about get us to the moon, how far away is the technology needed to get us, you know, to get people to Mars?
I think financially as well, like they've said that they're going back to the moon to put sort of like a base on the moon that they can launch, you know, other missions from, haven't they? And maybe it's true that one of the, that's going to be a huge financial, that's going to be a massive thing. And if they're going to start launching things from the moon, I think that will be their focus for a long time. I'm sure they could get us to Mars. I'm sure they could, but I think they've chosen the option of launching stuff from the moon, I think.
Yeah.
Which would make more sense, a little bit more.
Yeah, because they're 250,000 miles closer, aren't they, I suppose. Right, next question is for me, from Jason Fontella, who I believe is a new Patreon. Thank you, Jason. And seeing your name has just reminded me I forgot to update my Patreons list. Anyway, the question is, loved your foray into serious videos. Will we see more? I think I've only done one serious video, and I didn't like it. I didn't think it suited my childish humour. So it depends. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Secondly, why did I decide to start debunking? Jason, I am not a debunker. I said this earlier on in the video. I'm guessing you're late joining the stream. I don't debunk anyone. I just point and laugh. Semi-professional piss taker. Question number 35. For me again. From Robert Legia. And the answer is not big enough, Robert. Question for both of us from Malicious Bloke. Oh, God. Are there any flat earthers you won't respond to because you worry they are genuinely mentally ill?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm not going to say who, but there are people that I refuse to put in my videos.
There is with me, and I'm guessing it will be the same person. Or persons.
Very, very likely.
Yeah, because as soon as I read that question, one guy sprung to mind immediately. But I'm going to be the same as Catz, and I'm not going to name names. Question for me. I clearly did balls up the name the first time because he's given me a breakdown of how to say it. So it's Tatty Bow Gull. Why do people think you have an accent? I know. Tatty Bow Gull. I don't get it myself. I just speak. Do you know something? That's just reminded me of something, and I found this really funny. Probably way funnier than it is. Somebody put a comment on my video the other day. I can't even remember which video, saying that they loved the channel, they were really enjoying, they were binge watching my content. What's my first language? Because I speak English almost fluently. And it's like, it's the only language I can speak. So I didn't know if that was a compliment or an insult, but I found it very funny. I speak English almost fluently.
That is brilliant.
So Tati Bogle, I don't even know what they mean when they say I have an accent. They just can't speak properly like what I do. Next question for both of us from Tech It Out, who I believe is Welsh. Have either of you read any classical or contemporary philosophy?
No.
No. Same year. Question for both of us again. If someone hypothetically wanted to send you fan art, digital copies, where would they send it to? From Timothy. Just to our email addresses. Mine is thecreakyblinder@gmail.com.
Yeah, mine's just conspiracycatsmail@gmail.com. In fact, I've got some here, and I've got a Space Comma special coming in. People have sent me loads of like little songs and Space Comma stuff, and I'm trying to do a little bit of a special where I do a big thank you to everybody that sent me that. So if you have sent me something, I've not thanked you yet. It is coming.
This is the thing, when I've been sent a few things, and I always feel incredibly guilty when somebody sends me something, because it's like, don't send me something that's going to cost you money. The guy who asked how big it was, Robert Legia, absolute legend. He sent me a graphics card all the way from America because my live streams were having so many technical issues. And you know, when somebody does something like that, it just blows my mind that somebody enjoys what I do enough to want to help me to be able to do it better.
That's pretty cool, man.
It is.
Good guy, job at the gym.
Yeah, he is. Even though he just asked me how big it was. How rude. Jut the Drunk Monkey. Question for both of us. Can Conspiracy Cats grow a beard and wear glasses? And can Creaky have a shave and take his glasses off? Do you think you could pass for one another if you did? That sounds a bit baldist to me. I've banned people for less. Oh, dear God. Right. Question for me from Colon. Do you find that the standard debunker videos are better than the flatty ones that make flatties think you are all shells? Hang on, let me read that again. Do you find that the standard of debunker videos is so much better than the flatties ones? And that's what make... Right, and that's what makes... So because our videos are generally better than flat earther videos... And I'm assuming you mean in the way they're made. Is that why you think that they think we are shills? I made that a bit more long-winded than it needed to be. This shills thing confuses the hell out of me. Do they really think that we are being paid by the government to make these videos? God, I mean, really, do they truly believe that every month Conspiracy Cats and the Creaky Blinder go onto their phone? Oh, let's check my bank. Oh, brilliant, my NASA money is in. For a start, I live in South Wales. It's a bit far. It baffles me.
If I put my arm that way, I could pat you on the head. That's it. Don't pretend we're in different houses.
Yeah. Shh. You can't say things like that. We're still live. Yeah, I don't know, Colon. Maybe. I suppose if they're looking for a reason, then that's as good as any.
But I've seen a lot of flat earthers complaining that they're being censored, and that that they'll talk about the people like us who make videos, and they'll say that we're being promoted and they're being subdued. But anybody who said it, like that CC guy, I don't know what he's not. I've not been me, but there's a flat earth called CC. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Now, he seems like a nice enough guy.
He looks like a low-budget Richard Gere.
He does. Yeah. Now, he was making a video the other day, and he said he was talking about people like us that have overtaken him in subs, and he's been doing this for 6 years, etc. And why is he being censored? And I thought, like, I didn't comment, but ultimately, his videos just shit. And that's a lot of the flat earthers will make videos where the they don't say anything. They'll have dull music in the background, and they'll be filming, something falling through the air or a balloon floating.
Yeah.
And then they'll try and compare that with videos that have taken hours and hours to put together.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why they think YouTube would push their content. I don't understand why they think their content is suitable to be pushed out and binge worthy.
The thing is as well, don't they think that maybe the reason that, like, my channel is really small and really young. I only started it in August last year, as you know. So I'm on 8,200, whatever it was, and I've overtaken a lot of the flat earth channels. Don't they think that's maybe because there aren't as many people interested in or believe in what they are saying as there are that are interested in people like me and you who make fun of stupid people? And I don't mean that in, I don't mean if somebody's, I know stupid is a bit of a cruel word, but people like to be amused, and they like to be made to laugh, and there's nothing funny in these flat earth videos. Well, actually, everything in them is hysterical, from my opinion. But what I mean is, the percentage of people that buy into what they believe is so small. Of course, they're going to have less subscribers than the likes of us.
Yeah, I think that's it. Just it's representative, isn't it? And people like you say, people like seeing. No, I'm not going to say extreme because it's not extremism, is it? But people like seeing very different ideas or crazy ideas being exposed, don't they? Yeah. People like to see that. Whereas those same people that like to see that don't necessarily want to see Ranty Flat Earth spend 5 minutes filming some wind turbines, what I mean, over the ocean. So because it's not interesting to watch. Unless you design wind turbines for a living, and then you might be, oh yes, that blade is 64 feet long, and do you know what I mean? So they're not putting out anything that drags people in and makes people want to watch it. Well, they're boring, aren't they? A lot of them are boring.
Yeah, and that's why in some cases, there's I can't think of an example offhand now, but people have said to me, I can think of an example, actually. People have said to me, why have I never made a video on, is it Martin Liddick, the Welsh guy?
Yeah.
It's because his videos are shit, and they're 3 hours long. I'm not going to subject myself to 3 hours of somebody from Cardiff. I can tell you that for free. No offence, S2000 GT, I know you live in that neck of the woods, but it's like nails on a chalkboard. He looks like one of the meerkats that's been shaved and had a pair of glasses slammed on him. I can't think of anything worse than watching 3 hours of him talk shit just so I can make a 15-minute video. That's another prerequisite for me, is if I find a video, if somebody suggests a video to me, if it's over 30 minutes, I don't even look at it. Because it's too long for me to do to it what I want to do to it to make my version of that video. And I know, because we've had the conversation before, that Radical the Unhallowed Knight works in exactly the same way. He picks videos that are 15-20 minutes. I've got some videos on my channel, and the source video was 4 minutes long, but I was still able to drag it out to the golden 10-minute mark because I just love talking.
I find like what you were saying with Martin Leaker, I find that with Eric Debay, just so horrendous.
That's another one I've been asked about, and it's the same reason.
Yeah,
I haven't got the patience to sit through a 3-hour debate, and I use the term loosely, to pick out little segments. Do you know what I mean? That's why, before I said, can you send me the Dell clips you used? That's because I'm just too lazy to watch a whole Dell episode to pick them out myself. But anyway, the next question from Turquoise Laura, one of my lovely channel admins. Do you think there will ever be anything that will blow the flat earth bullshit out of the water? I feel maybe this has already been asked, though. No, I don't think that has been asked, actually, Laura. There's loads that blows it out of the water, in my opinion, but they just choose to ignore it.
I think the upcoming trip to the moon, you know, and the space tourism eventually will have a massive impact. But there'll always be people who just will cling to the guns, won't they?
Right then. Question for Conspiracy Catz. So you... Oh, hang on. This may be from one of your subscribers. So you're telling... And I know it's my accent. So you're telling people about stuff. Space comma. I kid you not. But do you know what gravity actually is? Not its effect, but what it's made of. And that... ... Go.
That reminds me of a brilliant video I saw with Richard Feynman. Like, somebody asked him, like, can you tell me how two magnets attract? And Richard Feynman just looked at him and said, well, you know, I could tell you, but I can't tell you at the same point. And he kept saying, there's always going to be a deeper layer. There's always going to be a deeper layer. And eventually, you know, you're going to find that you're just constantly asking why, you know. And so... I don't know. Do even the highest level academics know exactly what the mechanics of gravity is? I don't think they do. But we can model it and we can see it in action. We know it's there. However it works, and whether you want to classify it as a force or not a force, you know, we know exactly how it works, and we can model it. We can use it to make predictions. Just as sure as we can model electrostatics or electromagnetism or anything like that. You know, so. I guess the short answer is no, I can't explain how it works in the same way I can't explain how magnets work.
Radically Unhallowed Knight says gravity is made of gravy. How do people not know that? The thing is with gravity, though, people say, oh, you can't prove gravity, you can't see it, you can't see air. But we all know we can breathe, so how is it any different? You can see the effects of gravity. Surely that's proof enough. In the same way as me being able to breathe and not keel over and die is proof enough that there's oxygen for me to breathe.
Absolutely. I think we can see enough just sat in our houses now to know that it's there. But, you know, the gravitational waves have been detected as well, haven't they? You know, the top scientists, you know, they've managed to even detect those. But no, I'd love to know what the mechanics of it were.
Yeah. Question number 44 from Tamra, which I'm fairly sure I've said wrong. But these are my computer glasses and there are a lot of M's in there. What is our thoughts on the Mandela effect? Go on, you go first.
Oh, God. Well, I don't believe in it, but I think media as I think media creates a lot of that. So the whole Star Wars one, you know, where he says, you know, Luke, I am your father, but he never says that. He says, no, I am your father, something like that. I think, like, all it takes is one person to create, like, a meme, you know, or to parrot that wrong, and then that goes big. And you remember the meme, you know. Yeah. I think that's what you remember.
So you're kind of remembering an alternative version of what actually was said because somebody has misrepresented it.
Exactly.
Question number 45 from John Ellis for both of us. Who is the most tolerable flat earther you have covered or interacted with? I'll be honest, apart from in my comment section, I've never interacted with a flat earther and I have no intention of ever doing so because I'm very, very fearful of stupidity being contagious. But I know that Mr. Catz does interact with flat earthers, as we've all seen. So I'll leave him answer that question.
Right, well, before I do that, I've just seen a comment in the chat. Paul Griffith wants us to say hi to his wife, Reba. So, hi, Reba. How you doing?
Hello, Reba. How are you this evening? You're clever, and you've been able to keep an eye on the side chat as well.
It's been all, but you know, I've just noticed when I'm looking at the live chat, sorry, the live feed, it looks as if I'm not paying attention, but I'm actually looking at my camera, which is in a different place to my monitor, so it looks like I'm just zoning out. But so was the question: have I ever who's the most tolerant or
tolerable?
Tolerable. I was on. I'll give this a shout out. I was on a channel a couple of times with a guy called Mark Doxey. He's a flat earther, and I've had a couple of conversations with him, and he's a really nice guy. We email each other every now and then, and I really need to give that hangout I did with him a shout out. He's a really good bloke. I have spoken to one or two offline, but I don't think they'll be comfortable with me saying who they are. But yeah, Mark Doxey, it seems a really, really nice bloke. He's got his own channel.
Actually, let me take part of that back. I have interacted with a flat earther. And I have spoken about this in live streams before, and he's a customer of mine. And
you know what you do?
Now then, he was in the unit one day. I've sign written his minibus for him. He's been a good customer over the years. And I was making some graphics up to stick on his minibus, and he started banging on to me about mud floods.
Oh.
And I lost my patience so quickly. And I said to him, please say you're not one of those idiots. I said, don't be such a twat. I said, you're a big boy, you're a grown up. What do you mean, he said? The Tartarians. And it's like, mate, I said, please don't talk to me about it, because I will lose my rag. Anyway, and in fairness, he didn't. He stopped talking about it. So I finished doing the job for him. We went into the office for me to do his invoice and extract some folding stuff from him. And he spotted, I've got like a print on my wall, which is me and a big picture of the globe. And he went, I don't believe that either. And I said to him, listen, I said, if you're a flat earther, don't ever come back to me again. And definitely don't look at my YouTube channel. And he said, oh, what is it then? And because I'm me, I said, oh, just type the Creaky Blinder into YouTube, and I have not seen him again since.
Bloody hell.
But I just, face to face, I had no patience for it at all. It was just like, please, don't start talking to me about it. I can't, I'm no Mensa flipping guy, you know, I'm just who I am, but I can't talk, I can't discuss, and maybe it's narrow-minded of me, but I can't discuss something with somebody that I think is completely ridiculous.
Yeah, it's hard to pay lip service and pretend that something that's dead farcical isn't farcical.
Yeah.
You know, so it's better just not to have the conversation.
Yeah, I can't, I'm not a very good liar, see. Years ago, I used to work in the motor trade, right? And I worked in this motor factors, and everyone there used to go out for a drink on a Thursday. Oh, no, I'm not gonna. No, thanks. I don't want to. And they asked me, and then there was like a work party, and the manager came on to me and he said, "Look, everyone's asking why you never come out with us." And I said to him, I don't like any of you. I said, I've got to work here because I need the money. But I said, I'm not going to choose to go out and drink with you. I don't like any of you. And they never asked me again, but it's kind of, and it's not that I'm horrible. It's just, I didn't like any of them. Do you know what I mean? And I can't be false, see? I can't pretend. I can't pretend to like somebody if I don't like them.
At least it stopped you having to come up with a load of excuses.
Yeah. As soon as I said, I don't want to come because I think you're all a bunch of dickheads, they never asked me again, so problem solved. But I can't, and sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing, but I can't lie to people, and I can't pretend to be, oh yeah, that's funny, yeah. When actually I'm thinking, oh my God, you're a right plum, you know. I can't pretend, see? Which is why I'm not a very good liar. Oh, our mate Tatty Bogle is back again. What do we think about the current Area 51 nonsense? Well, Tatty Bogle, you obviously haven't been here since the beginning of the stream, because we talked about this earlier on, so once the stream is finished, rewind and watch it again. Question number 47 for Conspiracy Cats from Nenad Kubik. Excuse me. Would you play something for us on those nice guitars you have there?
You know what? Actually, this gives me a really good opportunity for a plug of the Conspiracy Cat channel, actually. Because there is a third channel where I'm going to be putting like guitar instructionals on for the songs that I've done on the Conspiracy Cats. So I'm not gonna mess around plugging anything in now, but if you keep an eye on the Conspiracy Cats channel, then you will see it soon.
I want to ask the next question just because I think it's funny. From Chris Johnson, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could smoke weed every day? That is the real question in all this. And I think the answer's 42.
Definitely.
Right, question number 49 for Conspiracy Cats from Colon. Would you ever set up a Udemy channel like Flat Earth School has for 1999 in order to provide scientific lesson to cover his rebuttals?
Go on, say that again. What?
Would you ever set up a Udemy channel? I think Udemy is like an online educational thing, where you can sort of teach people online, if I'm not mistaken.
What, teach them face to face, kind of?
Like this, webcam to webcam, I think it works. And you would charge people like 20 quid a month for lessons. I think Colon wants you to teach him something, Catz.
Well, actually, that brings me to my second plug. This is, if I do hit, I'm not taking it for granted, but if I do hit 30,000 subscribers and I get the channel memberships, what I want to do is something like that, where charge a nominal fee, a small amount per month, but for people who've got kids still at school doing the GCSEs, and then once a week or once every whatever, put a timetable together where I do GCSE science lessons on there for the people, for that community, and have it as small groups so they can ask questions, interact, and that hopefully, that'll be good for me because it'll increase my income, but for them, a private tutor costs what, £25-30, so hopefully it might be a little bit cheaper for them. So we'll see, so maybe I might do it through the channel membership.
Next question is for Conspiracy Cat, shockingly, from your pal Al Loop.
Oh, Al Loop, he's brilliant.
When will you do a moon landing deniers video? Have you not done one?
Have I done one? I got a feeling I've done one. I've got a memory of doing one at some point. Or did I do Moonlight one? I'll have to check. Yeah, maybe I haven't done one. In which case, you know what? Today would have been a really good day to do one, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Anniversary. Yeah, I'll have to do one.
Question 51 from Two Left Thumbs. If there's a flat, level horizon, 360 degrees around you, why don't you see a curve when you're on a flat plane? Hint, for the same reason you don't see a curved horizon on a big enough sphere. What?
Is that a question for...
It's just a question. They haven't specified who for. If there's a flat, level horizon, 360 degrees around you, why don't you see a curve when you're on a flat plane?
Well, if you're on a sphere and you're looking down, you essentially, the horizon you see is like a cross section of that sphere.
Yeah.
So you're not going to see.
No, you can't see enough of it, can you? See, somebody with zero scientific knowledge knows that. You can't see enough of it to be able to detect curve. But that doesn't mean it's not there. It just means you can't physically see it. Anyway.
I had a funny sound then. Am I still here?
Yeah, still here. Sounded like you kicked your mic.
No, I heard a little strange sound. Sounded like a little pop inside my mic. Did you pick anything up?
Yeah, it was just like as if you knocked your microphone. You're
Right,
still coming
right.
through fine, no?
If it sets on fire, anyone watching, you can
Yeah.
go.
Somebody run over and put him out. Question for both of us from 1 Minute Debunk. Can you both pick the strongest flurf, then discuss which one would win at fisticuffs? That'd be great, Tar. So, what flat earther would you fight?
I'd have to go with Del, wouldn't I? I'd have to go with Del. He's a big lad.
I'm trying to think of the smallest one, to be honest with you. Or maybe, I know who it would be. It would be Professor Funbags. I'll fight a girl if she's a flat earther, I don't care. Question for Creaky from Mr. James again. Now I know I debunk... No, I don't debunk. Now I know I make fun of conspiracy videos, but I'm starting to get a bit paranoid about all these questions from Mr. James. Especially as I had a teacher in school called Mr. James. Is that you, sir? Oh no, you're probably dead because I'm nearly 50. I was literally wondering today, not just wondering, literally wondering when Trigger Throw is coming back. Ah, so you did click the link. Yeah, I know, I've been wondering. Have you ever seen any of his videos, Cat, Trigger Throw?
I haven't, no.
He's funny as hell. Absolutely brilliant. But he hasn't uploaded anything for over a year. I think that he was having a lot of issues with demonetization and everything because he did have a bit of a potty mouth. Right. And I think he just got to the point where it was altering the way he wanted to make videos so much that he just stopped making them. But he's left all his videos up and he's got millions, tens of millions of views. So I dare say his channel is still providing him with a fairly substantial income, even though he's not uploading. How long that will last, I have no idea. Question for both of us from Jason Fontella. Hello again, Jason. Oh. What is your take on the link between flat Earth and racism? Is there one?
I've not heard of that.
No, me. And moving on. Question for Catz. Do your pupils know about your YouTube channel and what do they think of it?
Who sent that one in?
Majan. M-A-J-A-N.
Yes, they do know now.
I want to know the answer as well now. What do they think?
They want discount codes on the merch, and they scream space comma at me as I walk down the corridor.
Oh, do they?
They think it's hilarious. Yeah, they think it's hilarious. But, you know, yeah. Kept it secret for as long as I could, but it popped up on one of the feeds. So, yeah, they know about it.
Have you been recognised by anybody yet?
Once. Yeah, just once. And it actually turned out to be a guy that I used to go to school with, and that's not why he recognised me. Like, we got chatting to him, and he was actually a year below me at school. What about yourself?
No, I haven't yet. Because I wear a long ginger wig and dark glasses everywhere I go. I've only had one, and it was funny enough. It was my youngest son, the one that's still in school. A few of his pals watch me, and we were at there's a carnival every year where we live, and we were there a few weeks ago, and my son was there with all his mates, and they all come running over to me, and one of his mates had a massive cheek. You know that when you get a really giant grin and you're so excited, your top lip gets stuck on your teeth like that. I've never seen anyone so pleased to see me in his life, and he wanted a picture taken with me, but that's the closest I've ever come.
That's pretty cool.
It was quite cool, actually. It was really awkward, though, and uncomfortable. Anyway, a question for me. I'm getting all the good questions, I am. And all the really difficult to say names. From Patrico Electric. I've got another question. I can't find my pen. Where is it? I've looked everywhere. It'll probably be in the first place you looked. And that's a stupid thing to say. And everyone says, I can't find my phone. I can't find my phone, Mrs. Creaky. Where is it? Oh, it'll be in the first place you looked. Well, in the last place you look, sorry. Well, obviously it'll be in the last place I look. It's not going to be in the first place, is it? Because I wouldn't still be looking for it. Oh, dear me. Right then. Next question for me. Oh, from Conrad Kopek. I'm a new subscriber, and I'm sorry I have now. No, he didn't really say that. I'm a new subscriber, but I had been following the Flat Earth debunking for a while. Do you have a plan for what you're going to do when the retarded idea of Flat Earth finally dies off? We kind of sort of answered that earlier on, Conrad. There's lots of other things I'd like to talk about. I'm just not necessarily holding back from doing it, but I'm going to start easing in some alternative topics so that I don't scare too many people off or don't lose interest of too many people. And another question for me from Conrad Kopek. That's a very familiar sounding name. It's almost as if he asked the last question. Is Flat Earth a big thing in Wales? We got loads of hills here and nothing's flat in Wales. I live in Kent, England, and although I'm aware of it being a thing, I have never heard of it on the street or whatever. I know that, I think it might have been last year, you know, there's, I can't remember his name now, the gate guy, Dan's mate.
Oh, Chris UK.
Yeah, I know he does like a tour, doesn't he, of the country? Like a Flat Earth Roadshow, and I know they came to Swansea, and there's a video on YouTube of a guy almost coming to blows with him because he tried to smack the camera out of one guy's hand, and the police were involved and everything.
Yeah, I saw that, and like, as frustrating as it is talking to these guys, you know, I think in that instance, the guy that he was talking to was in the wrong. You know what I mean? Like, if he's going to get that triggered speaking to a flat earther, that he's going to
just don't speak to him, innit? Just walk away.
Yeah, like you said before.
Just don't speak to me about it. Just go away. I will not be drawn into a conversation like that.
Yeah.
Another question from Turquoise Laura for me about you. Where did the make conspiracy cats come from? I don't even know what that means.
Make, not the name.
No.
Mistake the name.
M-A-K-E. Where did the make conspiracy cats come from? I'm going to assume, Laura, that is a typing error. She must mean, where did the name conspiracy cats come from? So shall we go with that?
Oh yeah, I'll answer that. I'll keep an eye in the comments in case we're wrong with that. But yeah, the name is a really boring story, I'll be honest. I only set up the channel to make one video. That was it. That I didn't want to use on the current channel I was on because it was a school channel. And I didn't know what to call it. And Conspiracy Cats was literally the first name that popped in my head. And I thought, oh, if I make more videos, I'll change it later. And that's it. It's like, there was no reason for it whatsoever other than it was the first thing that came into my head.
Question. Sorry, Catz. Question 61 from Conrad Kopek. Hypothetically speaking, what would you do if the Earth somehow did turn out to be flat?
Wow. Well, is that for you or me?
Well, it's for me, but you can answer it as well. And like anything else, right? And I know it's a hypothetical question. I would just go, cool, so I've been wrong all these years. Let's have a look and see what's going on. Because if something like that was to be proven, I wouldn't feel the need to continue to say it isn't. If somebody went up now, took photos from space, and it was flat, I'd be like, okay, cool, it's flat. Let's have a look, you know, let's understand why, you know, why we've thought right. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't continue to say, oh, no, it's a globe, knowing it was flat, if that makes sense. In the same way as flat earthers are behaving.
I agree. I've just seen Turquoise Laura in the comment. Yeah, she did mean name.
Right, good.
But yeah, I'll be the same. But the thing is, if it turned out that there was some devastating proof tomorrow that the Earth was flat, then I would be asking myself, right, well, what about all the things that must be lies then? You know, because if the Earth was flat, we would have to be being lied to left, right, and centre by everybody.
Yeah.
So that would become my focus, trying to find out, you know, who is behind it.
Yeah. Next question for both of us from Tamra. Did either of you watch the Bob Lazar documentary? And do you have any thoughts on what he said in the 80s coming to pass? Do you think Element 115 or the hand scanner give any credibility to his story? Do you think he may be telling the truth since he has never used his story to make money? He tries to stay out of the spotlight most of these years because he's not looking for fame. Now, I haven't watched the documentary yet. I've added it to my list in Netflix, but I have watched his interview on the Joe Rogan podcast, and it is very interesting because on face value, he doesn't seem like he's lying.
I'm not... Sorry, go on.
But some of the things he's claiming, like Element 115 and the hand scanner, I don't know, do they or don't they give credibility to his story? I don't know, but to me, watching that podcast with Joe Rogan, he doesn't appear to be lying.
Yeah, no, I've not seen the documentary either. I'm going to have to hunt that one out. But I remember watching, I think it would be a few years ago now, watching a load of videos on him, and I can't quite remember what was in there. And I remember thinking, oh, it was quite interesting, his story. And then I found a video that sort of like claimed to debunk him. And I can't remember what was on there, but it was quite a convincing debunk, actually, about his actual credentials and stuff, and how long he'd actually worked at Area 51. But I can't remember any of the details. So it gives me something to look at.
I'll drop a link because I watched it last week and it is very, very interesting. So I'll drop a link in the side chat to the Joe Rogan podcast. And if you want, Catz, I'll email it to you because it's a very, very interesting watch. Because like I say, you know, I'm no sort of behaviorist or anything, but he doesn't look uncomfortable. He doesn't look as if he's lying. I don't know, but I've just dropped a link in the chat for anyone who's interested in watching it. Obviously not yet because we haven't finished. So on to the next question. 9 o'clock hero. For both of us, have you ever considered looking into the dark web? No.
As a like to make a video on it, or actually,
I don't know. That's all the question is. Have you ever considered looking into the dark web?
I've thought about making a video on it. Don't know much about IT. I know a lot of people who do, and I've been asked, trying to learn a lot about it from them. So I guess I have considered looking into it as like learning about it. Yeah.
Next question from Sidrat42 for both of us. If space tourism becomes a common thing, do you think the flurf nonsense will persist? Do you think any of them would take a space flight? I don't know. I'm sure they'll find a way to twist it because they find a way to twist everything.
I think once the space tourism is there, I think the majority of flat Earth will, or it will really die down. It'll hit it hard, won't it?
Yeah.
But you're always going to have one or two. You'll have them saying that on the outside of the spaceship is like, or the windows on the spaceship is like a TV screen, and it just shows them what they wanted to, what they want to see.
Yeah. And like you say, every village needs its idiot, doesn't it? So I'm sure some will remain. A question from Radical. I'm going to assume this is Radical the Unhallowed Knight. Can you call YouTube pulling ads and demonetizing conspiracy channels because their advertisers don't want to be associated with them censoring? That's a very good point, actually, Radical, because that's what it is. People seem to forget that YouTube is a company and they are there specifically for the purpose of making money. And if some of the content that is being uploaded to their platform is causing their advertisers to pull out, they're gonna not want those types of videos to be monetized.
Yeah, and I don't think there's there's no sort of like big agenda behind that, in terms of like hiding the shape of the Earth or anything. It is. They are a business, and they're going to do everything.
It's just a business decision. I with my vape shop, if there's a company we don't want to deal with, we just don't deal with them. And there's no sinister reason, no conspiracy, no secret. We just don't want to be associated with that company. And it will be the same for advertisers. So if you're a company that sells, I don't know, kids' toys, do you really want your adverts for kids' toys appearing on the back end of a video where somebody's just been trying to convince people that the Earth is flat? Probably not. So it's just a business decision. Question for Catz. Can you answer it slowly, Catz? Because Creaky needs a wee-wee.
Okay.
Badly. I watched your chat with Giganto.
Oh, God, yeah.
Was it as frustrating as it looked? Give me 1 minute, mate, right?
Yeah. That was frustrating. I mean, that came about because he sent me an email to say, did I want to hang out? Did I want to have a conversation? And ultimately, you know, I felt like if I said no, it's a bit cheeky because I've been using him as Gigantor. So I said yeah. I said, how do you want it to go? Do you want it to be a debate? Do you want it to be a chat? And he said, no debate whatsoever. We'll have a chilled chat. So we had a chilled chat. And because it wasn't a debate, I couldn't pull him. I didn't feel as if like it would have been right to pull him up on all the stuff he said. It was really frustrating. But since we've had the chat with him, I've sent him a message since and said, look, I want to go on the Baldy Catz channel and do like a review of the conversation we've had so I can put forward and I can address properly all the stuff he said without being confrontational with him. And I think he's going to do the same on his channel, you know, and give his version. So, yeah, it was really, really frustrating, but I'll get my point out soon. Just while Creaky's having a wee, let's have a look at the chat, see what's in there. Bang, bang. Right, I'll tell you what, I'll take the next question. Mr. Sarcastic Barman says hello. I like the Sarcastic Barman. Any more question? Racism in flat Earth. I've not seen any, but there's yeah, I agree with that. Let's have a look. Next time we got. You know, I'd be useless, wouldn't I, hosting a show on my own? I'm just going to take the next question that comes in the chat while Creaky's having a wee wee. Maybe I'll do a dance or something while I'm waiting. You're making me feel right. Can I say Space Comet in the Catz voice? All right, here we go. Space Comet. Yeah, a lot of people don't think that. A lot of people that know I do often think I've got somebody who reads all the comments for me, but I just am that immature. Stephen Steen, how are we doing? Okay. Yeah, Tommy, next time I've got him in the crosshairs, pull the trigger. You're right. I look back on that chat with Paquette Word, and it was frustrating, and I really, really should have held him to account on a lot of what he said, but then I promised him that wouldn't be the way, you know, and I didn't want to ambush him. But ultimately, I'll put it on the Baldy Catz channel, and it will get more views than it would have got on his channel anyway. I'll properly dissect it there. Paul Grimmett, what's my favourite guitar riff? Oh, good question. Really good question. Anything funky, like a bit of funk. Christ Puncher, still the best name on YouTube. Favourite guitar is that one, the vintage Les Paul. Oh, Creaky's back. How you doing, pal?
Good. Right, I'm fully drained. Thanks for filling time.
Mate, I don't know how you do this on your own. I felt so awkward then. I don't know. I nearly ended up dancing while
I was, just for fun, going to stay gone a few minutes longer than I needed to be, but I'm not feeling that cruel tonight.
Just not come back.
Actually, you say that, right? My last live stream before I went away on holiday, I had Radical on with me, and that's exactly what happened. I said, can you bear with me 5 minutes? Something's going on I need to go and deal with. I was gone like 20 minutes, and I had to come back and say, like, I got to kill the stream. So I've not got round to watching what he did, but Radical, I apologise for that if you're still in the side chat. Right, next question is for both of us. Question number 68 from Lorca. Do you ever feel concerned for the mental health of flat earthers?
Massively. And the reason is because of what we said before, that the people that really believe it can't just believe in flat earth. They have to believe in all the other conspiracy theories that come with it and the lies that come with it. And they must live in this bubble of paranoia, which is why I really hate the people that I don't think believe it, you know, and just try and promote it off their own back. And the people that try and misrepresent genuine science and lie about the genuine science to convince people to go down that path. I think it makes you mentally ill. Yeah.
It is definitely a slippery slope, isn't it?
Definitely. And there are flat earthers that like I won't touch at all on the stream because I think they have gone on my channel, sorry, because I think they have gone so far down that channel that wouldn't be right. You know, I think the ones I choose are the ones that misrepresent the science, you know, and perhaps aren't honest about it.
Yeah. Right then, next question number 69. Whee! It's a question for me. The rich uncle from Norway. I haven't got a rich uncle from Norway, but anyway, can we see the flat earth with our round eyes? I dare say that would be an excuse a flat earther would use. No, we can't because it isn't flat.
Yeah, I don't get this argument. Like, I asked that in the comments of Dell's channel once, and asked about the horizon and things disappearing bottom up. And he said, well, you've not factored in stuff like our eyes around. You know, I was like, well, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, right, and again, correct me if I'm misunderstanding this logic, right? So, our eyes are round, and that's what makes the Earth look round. Yeah? That's what they say.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying, isn't it? Why doesn't that look round when I look at it with the same eyes, then?
Or why, when you look at it with a camera that isn't, you know, you take a P1000 or a P900 and you know, which I've got now, by the way. I've got a P900 now.
Yeah, I saw that clip. Was that real? I thought you'd found that, and you really filmed that.
Which bit?
The clip you sent me on WhatsApp.
Oh, yeah. Was that the one where I zoomed in from my...
Yeah, that was bloody impressive.
That was from my bedroom window. That's the view from my bedroom. That is literally my camera, yeah.
Oh, my God.
It's incredible, isn't it?
That is incredible. Right, question number 70 for both of us from Adrian Clark. Do you think it's worth trying to terraform Mars when we finally get there?
No.
I don't know what terraform means. So.
It's like change it so we can live on it. I mean, it would be cool, but like, what would the purpose of living on Mars be unless we find something that that we haven't got on Earth?
Yeah, unless it's got something to offer, like a resource that we are running out of or just don't have anyway. What would be the benefit?
And yeah, it'd be massive cost, wouldn't it? But if we're using the moon as a base anyway to be launching missions from, because we're already in space, then it'd have to have something that the moon can't offer either. It would be cool, don't get me wrong. I think it would be really excellent. If I could snap my fingers and I was living on Mars, I'd do it. But I've got to question if it's worth the cost.
Right, question 71 from Gray. I've forgotten what his last question was, but he said, sorry about the last question. I obviously can't write the joke. How was it to watch the moon landings live? I can tell you it was awesome. So I'm guessing he's really old. Even older than me.
That would have been great.
It would have been awesome, but we'll get to do it, won't we?
We will, mate.
And of much better quality because...
Well, the special effects are better now.
Yeah, well, yeah. CGI's come such a long way.
Yeah. It'll look ace.
A question from me from James D. Spader F. It's a bit of a mouthful. Why do bald men... Oh, God. Why do bald men of a certain age feel the compulsion to defend globe Earth? Shouldn't you both be ogling at young women instead? What's the world coming from? And that question comes from another bald man.
We can do two things at once.
Exactly. Can you? That's impressive. I can't even type on the keyboard and talk on the mic at the same time. I'm a man, I can't multitask. Question number 73, for me again, from Stephen Steen. Why is Conspiracy Cat so ugly?
It's a good question. It is a good question. I ask myself that a lot. It's a combination of years of effort to look this way. It didn't happen by accident, mate.
I'm hoping that was a joke question, Steve. Do you know what I do as well? It's like I said, the only comments I ever get are like, you're bald and you wear glasses, and like schoolyard stuff.
Yeah.
So what I do is I use the Eminem approach in the last scenes of 8 Mile. If you point out yourself every flaw you've got, like being bald, being old, wearing glasses, what's left for people to insult you with?
Exactly.
Because I genuinely don't care anyway. Why would I care what a username on YouTube says about me? Because I don't know it doesn't affect my life.
No. I think, when you get to like our age, you you all them insecurities or whatever that you have when you're younger, they're just not there anymore.
No, I genuinely couldn't give a rat's ass. And if I get a comment and it's getting a little bit to the point where I think, ooh, that's a bit me, I just delete it. Most of the time, I don't even finish reading it. Because there's enough shit going on without adding to it with stupid crap like that has no effect on you. It can't make your life better, can't make it worse, unless you're the type of person who is easily offended. But I'd like to think that people like us that do this aren't that easily offended, because if we were, we wouldn't do it.
Oh, that's, yeah, you'd have no, yeah, if you were easily offended, there's no way you could do this kind of stuff. Cause it's,
exactly. Do you know what I mean? Because people have said before about narcissism, haven't they? And to do what we do, there's a certain amount of narcissistic behaviour there. You know, putting yourself out there, and do you agree or not?
Yeah, no, I think so, because I used to have like just a purely educational channel that hardly got any views at all, you know, just purely educational for GCSE. And it was boring, like the whole channel was boring, and I released a video and it was boring because nobody would comment on it. And then when I did the first Conspiracy Catz video and people actually started commenting, and you get those interactions with people. Yeah, it was good to put something out there and then have people comment on it and interact with you. So that's probably why I kept going with it. So yeah.
Question for Conspiracy Catz from Secret Lover.
My mind's watching.
If somebody wanted to send you a dildo, where would they send it to? Just send it to Simon Dan's P.O. Box. He's the only one of us that can afford one.
I've got a lot of... right, I'll... yeah, where would you send it to? Depends how big it was, I suppose. Like, is it going to need, like, you know, a Tesco's delivery van?
Right, question number 75 for both of us. From Unibite. Oh my God, I'm sweating like a fat bird on a treadmill. Would it not be responsible to assume most flat earthers are somewhat mentally challenged, otherwise they are just trolls? No? I never assume anything. Myself. Or at least I don't think I do anyway.
I think that's a brilliant question. I remember when I was young, and somebody said to me, like, the moon landings were faked. And I was talking like I was at school age. And I said, what makes you say that? And they said, well, because the flag flapped on the moon and there's no wind on the moon. Like, how can you explain that? And I couldn't explain that at that age. You know, I was really young. But then once I went out and I looked up the answer and then understood it, it was like, oh, right, okay, fair enough. So I don't know. There are questions you could ask someone who's fairly intelligent, like, why can you see the Chicago skyline from the other side of Lake Michigan when it's too far? And they go, oh, bloody hell, I didn't realize you could do that. But it's that second step of them going out and finding the, you know, and if they've not got it in them to go out and find that answer, then it might stick some doubt in the mind, even if they've got a reasonable intelligence.
Question for both of us, number 76. And I will have to leave you answer this because I've not got an answer. How do flat earthers explain weather on a flat earth?
I saw the Moore guy will explain opposite rotations of storms in the northern and southern hemisphere, and he did it by filling a bath full of water and then moving his hand through the water, and the little swirls of water on each side of his hand were in opposite directions. So that's about the best I've seen.
Reliable source then.
Yeah, it was a great video.
Question number 77 for Conspiracy Catz. Will your new album, Space Comma, be available via Amazon Music?
You know, these questions are pulling some pretty good plugs out of me tonight. I don't mean that kind of plug. But, like, the Conspiracy Catz channel does actually have a band working on recording the Conspiracy Catz songs, but, like, properly.
Oh, is it?
Sticking them on Spotify.
Cool. There we are. So that's that question answered. Question for me. What's my opinion on JM Truth? I will not give my opinion on JM Truth because I don't want my channel to be demonetized or deactivated. And I have got some opinions on him. but I won't say what they are here. Sorry. Question number 79 for me. Without giving too much away, are you from Pontypridd? No, I'm not from Pontypridd. That's actually an insult, if you knew where I was from. No, I'm not from Pontypridd, but I am from South Wales. South West Wales, to get slightly more specific. But that's about as specific as I'll ever get, in case somebody tries to come and kill me, because I have already been threatened with death once by a certain Russian who shall remain nameless. He really... Do you know the funny thing was with that, right? That Philip douchebag or whatever his name was. Yeah. He's... And this will sound really childish, right? He started it. He made a video about me and Dan. He made a video about me and Simon Dan. And I watched this video and I was like, what have I done? And I thought, fair enough, I'll just make a video replying. I just thought he'd be like everyone else. But he went full flipping Snoop Dogg on me and was recording a video, you know, proper gangster, bouncing a basketball and doing slam dunks and threatening me with the Russian mafia. And it's like, easy, tiger. All I did was reply to your video. No, I'm not from Pontypridd, Rebel Wolf. Not at all. Question for Catz from Stephen Steen. Why is Creaky so much better looking than you? Do you know who Stephen Steen is? I'm guessing he's one of you commenters. Because he seems to be picking on you.
He was in Chatbox Travels, actually, in my last video.
Was he?
Well, why is he better looking? Because he's just... I don't know, better genetics.
Better what? Genitals?
Genetics.
Oh, genetics. Sorry, I'm a bit deaf in my left ear.
I don't know. You might have better genitals. I don't know, but I'm not going to demonetize.
I wouldn't count on it. No. I wouldn't count on it. No. Have you ever seen a bird peeping out of a bush? Question number 81 from Robert Legia the third. You guys are both amazing creators. Yes, we are.
Thank
and
you.
All around decent human beings. Well, I can only speak for myself, but I'm sure Catz is. Thank you for all you do. Love heart emoji. Thank you, Robert. And you, sir, are a legend in this community, as I'm sure you have been told many times, and if you haven't, you should have. Because the kindness you showed towards me was, without getting too soppy, very, very touching. And I still can't believe that somebody that doesn't know me, has only ever watched me in a video, would spend that much money on helping me. And I will be eternally grateful to you, mate. And that's 100% truthful.
He's a good guy.
He is a good guy. A genuine good guy. It just goes to show there are actually some nice people in the world. Question for both of us from Jut the Drunk Monkey. Did you know what you guys call gravity, globe deniers call dropity, and us drunk monkeys call it fall out of a tree? Oh, dear me. Flat earthers must know that gravity is a thing, because how many of them have fallen out of the stupid tree and hit every branch on the way down, and that's how they've ended up where they are. So they know gravity's a thing. Absolutely they do. Question number 83 for Creaky from Tamra. Not a question. Just wanted to let you know you're the first person to get it right the first time. Punctuation's important. So your name is Tamra. Wonderful. I'm glad I got it right, because I quite often get people's names wrong. Question for Catz from Chris R. I'm a private maths tutor and science. I have seen an increasing number of young globe and evolution deniers. I blame the parents. How do you as a teacher deal with young people like that? Creaky, what's your thoughts as well? I don't have thoughts on anything. Just opinions. Go for it, Catz.
The closest I've had to a kid that says they don't believe in the globe was a kid who said that they had a relative that didn't believe in it, and I asked them why, and then I gave them you know, the correct information, and the kid said he was going to go and tell that relative, and he went away really happy. I tend to get more stuff like people not believing in evolution or the Big Bang, etc., coming from like a religious side of it. But ultimately, as a teacher, it's my job to tell them what the scientific explanation is and present the scientific evidence. And if I do that and they don't believe that because they've got a religious belief, it's not for me to cross the line and tell them that, you know, they shouldn't have those beliefs. So I give them the scientific explanation and I let them mull over it.
Question number 85, and just to let everyone know, I have turned off the questions now because we're up to 103 questions now and we're only on 85, and it's a school night even though school's broken up for the summer. Question for both of us babes from Kiri Mac, who's another awesome member of this community.
Yeah, Kiri's cool.
Some people think that Starlink is going to ruin the night sky. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, go on, you first.
Why do they say it's going to ruin the night sky? What, you know, in what way?
I think light pollution. Talking about when they go up, they are very, very bright and visible.
Yeah.
But I think that, you know, from everything I've read about it, we won't be able. We won't be able to see them with the naked eye, or if we do, they'll be very, very faint. So I don't know if they do ruin the night sky. It'll be a massive shame because like light pollution from Earth does that too much anyway, doesn't it? So it will be a massive shame. But from what I've heard, I don't think that'll happen.
It's just that thing though, isn't it, about like technological advances. You know, when does a technological advance cause more harm than the benefit it's given? And it's that sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to think what else might be put in the same ballpark as that. I don't know, but yeah, I think we'll be all right with it. I think Starlink, we'll be all right.
For both of us, not a question, a compliment. Oh, hang on, I may have to put my good glasses on for this. What all you Globe content creators have achieved together, maybe without knowing, is not only helping people on the fence, but also reawakening the interest in science. She's clearly not talking about my channel then. Up to people subscribing to science courses. People that otherwise wouldn't have given science a second thought. Well done. I got to be honest, and I say that jokingly, doing this and watching people like you and Dan and Craig and Team Skeptic and everything has given me, I quite often now will find myself watching something science-based that I would never in a million years have even, I would have just flicked past it. And now I go, oh, right, I'll have a look at this. So it has kind of increased, it's increased my interest. But, so yeah, thank you yeah, that's the thing, because it's had that effect on me. Question, to whom it may concern, very formal. Question number 87.
Like it?
If it's technical, it'll concern you, Catz. From Karsten. The amount of intelligence on a planet is constant. The number of individuals is variable. Your opinion?
So like the bigger the population, the dumber we get as a whole. It does seem to be going that way, doesn't it, with the internet?
Yeah, exactly. It's like I said earlier on about flat earthers creating the next generation of idiots if they get the free reign to do so.
But,
Question. Go on, sorry.
It is so easy. Like the internet makes it so easy for that to happen, doesn't it? You know, you see something, you know, if it's so easily accessible, and then you're going from one dumb video to the next one, you could do that for hours, couldn't you? And I think that's stopping the promotion of it, because people are doing that. They're going down that rabbit hole of one video, and then something else similar bobs up in the suggested feed, and they click that, and after you know it, they've had 3 hours there of this drip feeding of just nonsense.
There's many a time where I've been sort of sat there watching videos on YouTube about motorbikes, and 2 hours later I'm still sitting there and I'm watching a video about how to correctly wear a turban. And do you know what I mean? You can literally go from one thing and you think, how the hell did I get here? I'm not even Sikh. I'll never need to wear a turban. Why am I watching this video? But the internet is a double-edged sword, isn't it? Have you seen? I don't know if you're as down with the kids as I am, and as on the cutting edge of all things internet. But are you aware of Belle Delphine? She's what they call an e-girl, like a gamer girl, and she's been selling her bathwater for 30 quid a pop. And
I saw that on a. Did you do a video about that? No.
No, I haven't.
Paul Joseph Watson did. That was it. I saw it on his channel.
And now there's like reply videos. It's a very similar format to what we do. I saw it on the I'm Alex channel, and she's been sort of. She's just filling little plastic pots up with water and sending. But people are making videos of them drinking this 20-year-old girl's bathwater, and she's got millions of subscribers, millions of followers on Instagram, and her channel's just been terminated. So,
really?
yeah. And she's famous for the sake of being famous, if that makes sense. So the internet, you can do, and case in point, you can find a certain amount of success and notoriety with absolutely no identifiable skills. This girl there's a video of her playing with a dead octopus, obviously in a very sexual way, and it got like 7 million views in like 48 hours. It's insane, absolutely insane. She is bonkers, absolutely bonkers, but she's a millionaire at 20.
You've got to admire the entrepreneur.
So, I'm going to start bathing instead of showering. So, if anybody wants some Creaky bath water, I'll try not to fart in it. Just send me an email. creakyblindedgerms@gmail.com. A wrinkle in every mouthful. Question for me from Mr. James again. What's your opinion about the conspiracy theory of Mr. James? I don't know, Mr. James. I don't know. I'm actually getting a bit scared. Question for Catz from Kelly D. Have you had any issues with parents or school administrators pertaining to your YouTube channel? And do you incorporate any of the flat earth, globe earth material into your lessons? Do you teach flat earth, Catz?
I don't. It's good question though.
It is a good question.
The first one is no, because I'm self-employed now, and I only started the Conspiracy Catz channel when I'd handed my notice in from like full-time school. So there's nothing that the school really can do about it, I suppose, because I'm self-employed. I don't really fall. If they don't want to work with me or something, that's fine. But I've only got a few weeks left in the school anyway before I'm completely gone. But I'm just doing, my own private tutoring, so it's not really something I think about. So no, not really. The second one, do I use flat Earth related stuff? Yes. For example, if I'm teaching refraction, we'll look at the Chicago skyline, and we'll look at how mirages are made, and then we'll apply that science to the boring stuff, putting light through a glass block and refraction that way. Try and contextualize stuff as much as I can. But yeah, I do, but I don't make it obvious it's flat earth stuff.
I suppose, though, in regards to that question, as long as the content you were producing wasn't potentially harmful or inappropriate, then what reason would they have to object to it anyway?
Well, back when I was sort of like, full-time teacher, working for the local authority and stuff, you do sign policies and documents about use of IT and social and social media and your profile and stuff like that. And can it be used to bring a school into disrepute? But so I never would have been able to do Conspiracy Catz ever while I was like a full-time teacher. But like I said, when I was coming out of it, that was the opportunity, really, for me to do something in that kind of tone. So it's not ideal. I can see that not all parents will like it, but ultimately, the crossover time between me leaving schools for good and doing this is so small that there isn't really time for any kind of uproar about it. So that's it really.
Question for me from Nenad Kubek. Why am I moving my cursor all over Conspiracy Catz? And now that she said it, I've noticed that I am. It's actually on the end of his nose now. So sorry, Conspiracy Catz. I honestly hadn't noticed, and I will try and refrain from doing so. Question from Conrad Kopek for me. Firstly, thank you for answering my previous questions. You're very welcome. Do you record now where you were recording in an office or some other rented... Hang on a sec, let me reread that. Do you record now or were you recording in an office or some other rented location? Just was wondering what all the noise is in your older videos. Right then. My usual recording location is my office at work because I don't do much work. And the only reason I'm recording this is where my live streams always are. This is my, to use a very YouTuber term, this is my home studio, otherwise known as the spare bedroom. And I generally record at work because I send fitters out to fit the signs, and I just do the design and manufacturing part. So I use my downtime in work to record videos. But because Canon, here's my camera, which I sent back to Canon before I went to Mallorca for repair, and they've sent it back to me, and the stupid arsewipes have not even touched it. It's like they've looked at it and gone, yeah, looks fine to me. Send it back, Bob. They have not done a thing with it. So I haven't actually got a camera at the moment, which is why I'm not recording at work, because I haven't got a webcam at work. So yes, it is a rented location, but it is the location of my sign company. So that was a very boring answer, but an answer nonetheless. A question for both of ye. This must be from the olden days, from Carsten. The amount of intelligence... We've already had that. The amount of intelligence on a planet is constant. The number of individuals... right, so I get it now. Impatient question askers. If at first you don't succeed, try and try again. Question for me, from Conrad Kopek. Apart from flat Earth, the trees are not trees, and insert country here does not exist, Australia. What's the stupidest theory you've heard of? That's a good question, actually. What is the stupidest theory? I think it's flat Earth. I really do. Because the video I did on... I can't remember the guy's name now. Where the I think Dan made a video on him as well, Catz. That Scottish guy. Australia doesn't exist. London doesn't exist. He's just a satire comedian, isn't he? I'm hoping he is, anyway.
I think mud flood is the most stupid thing I've heard of. It's like there's literally no substance to it whatsoever. That it's ridiculous. I can understand how someone might see a picture like the Chicago skyline and say, "Oh, look, you can see a little bit too far. Is the Earth really round?" And then very quickly snap out of it. But I can't see how anybody, for even a second, can consider that mud flood nonsense.
Talking about mud flood, has everyone seen what's going on with Barnabas Nagy's channel? He now has decided that YouTube hate him, so he set up, I don't know if it's like a website or what it is, and you now have to pay a monthly subscription. So what he's doing, he's uploading, say, for example, now, like you and I, we make sort of 15, 20-minute videos. So what we would do if we were Barnabas Nagy, we would upload, say, 7 minutes of it to YouTube. So we'd cut 2 versions, and then at the end of that 7 minutes, it would say, to continue watching this video, please pay 20 quid a month to my website, which is conspiracycatz.com, to see the full video in its uncensored form. because his latest conspiracy now is all based around YouTube censoring his type of content. But some of the stuff he puts up, and I'll say it here, that guy is completely insane. Or he's so good at satire, I can't even tell it's satire. Or his mother dropped him on his head when he was 6 weeks old. It's got to be one of those three things.
But it's like we said before, these people who are claiming like censorship, when you actually look at the content they put out, it's dire, it's dross. No one wants to watch it from start to finish, you know, and then go back for another episode or whatever. It's absolutely, it's just dross. So then to complain that you're not being promoted and growing fast on YouTube when what you put out there is like what he does.
Yeah, exactly. It's just complete and utter nonsense, and then they're throwing their toys out of the pram and crying about it. What do they expect? Do you know what I mean? It would be like asking Fred and Rosemary West to babysit your kids. You wouldn't do it.
But like, I think flat Earth in general is a way of like people escaping their own inadequacies and saying, well, look, it's not me, it's not my fault that my life hasn't gone the way I want it to, because it's their fault. You know, the people that are controlling everything. And the non-promotion of the YouTube channel is just an extension of that, you know. So I can't even make a go of it on YouTube because, you know, I'm being censored, you know.
Yeah.
Really just putting out shit content.
Right, I'm going to have to start addressing the super chat soon. Conrad Kopek, I've been asked this question before, and I don't know. Are there any conspiracies that we know of that we think could potentially be true? Because this is the thing, see, and I've said this in videos. I'm not so close-minded that I think every conspiracy theory is an absolute load of old shit. Because there have been conspiracies, like, for example, LSD being tested on Americans, that turned out to be true. You know, so some things do turn out to be true. It's just, I think that we are... a conspiracy, we all, as soon as you hear the word conspiracy, you pair it with one of two words. Either theory or Catz. But... I think that's pre-programmed into us now. So as soon as we hear the word conspiracy, we think conspiracy theory equals lie, equals made up. But all a conspiracy is just people are conspiring to do something. So, yeah, of course, there are conspiracy theories that have or will turn out to be true. But I can't see any myself right at this minute that I think that might be true. Maybe it's just because I'm not aware of enough of them. I don't know.
I think a lot of the conspiracy theories that I would, or the kind of place where I think you're going to find the conspiracy theories that turn out to be true, is, you know, in politics and the kind of information we're receiving, you know, from the government through the media and what they're keeping from us and what they're not. And you look back at how much did they really know about the weapons of mass destruction, for example? You know, did they really know that there were none to start with? Did they not? And, you know, I find myself questioning what I trust when they, you know, from the government when they're discussing certain topics. But I wouldn't apply it to science. I don't think that there are scientific conspiracy theories like, for example, obviously the flat Earth or you know, stuff like that. But certainly, you know, stuff coming from governments who always got to wonder what the agenda is behind it.
Yeah, exactly, because there obviously is an agenda. And like I said earlier on, I'm sure there are some things that we're better off not knowing anyway. Yeah. So maybe they're better off staying hidden.
One of the things, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call this a conspiracy, but one of the things I think a lot of people aren't aware of is in teaching, for example, in the UK, they've been banging on for years about recruitment numbers for teacher training. And now recruitment numbers for teacher training are going up. And the government are pushing out those figures, you know, and saying, "Oh, look, you know, we're improving the recruitment for teacher training." But what they're not telling people, and what you'll probably be shocked to hear, is that a lot of candidates now that get onto teacher training, they're being paid anything up to £30,000 a year, tax-free, completely tax-free. £30,000.
Really?
Which will put you on earning about what, nearly 50 grand a year?
Yeah.
And they're under no obligation to stay in teaching once they've finished. And when they finish that training, they take a pay cut to become an NQT. And so, of course, a lot of them, they just fuck off afterwards. Excuse me.
Yeah.
They just leave because, but the government will push it out as like, oh, you know, look how we're increasing teacher training numbers. And actually, it's misinformation. It's not.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, you know, crazy. What other profession would you train and get paid more than the person who's training you?
Yeah. Well, there wouldn't be another profession, would there?
No, it's ridiculous. But it does help them, you know, fudge the recruitment figures.
Right, bear with me 1 second, because people are saying that Marvel Girl hasn't got a spanner, but she's always had a spanner. Let me just address that issue. 2 seconds. Right, we've been going quite a while now.
Is that the real Marvel Girl though? Before you give her a spanner?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm looking up.
It is the real Marvel Girl. Yeah, it is her.
Oh, yeah. Why has she not got a... That's very odd. Because she's been one of my original... yeah, doodads. What do you call it? Admins. Anyway, Conrad Kopek. Would you go to Mars if offered? No. I was too hot in Spain. Probably not. And I don't like flying. Whoa. $100 super chat. Holy shit balls. Hang on a sec. Is that 100? Or do I need to change my glasses? Curtis Reynolds. Long-time watcher of both you and Catz. The two of you are simply amazing. I just wanted to tell you that. Oh my god, that is absolutely amazing. That's the biggest super chat I've ever had. I knew I was amazing, but I didn't think I was $100 amazing.
It's the biggest one I've ever seen.
I know, Jesus. Quantum reach around £6.66. I will be addressing the super chat shortly, guys, right? So if you have super chatted, I'm not ignoring you. Right. Next question. No, I wouldn't go to Mars. Would you go to Mars, Catz?
I wouldn't if it was one of these like one-way trips and then you got to live there. No. But if I knew I was going to come back, then yeah.
Would you go if it was all inclusive? I probably would then.
It depends what the lager was. It'd have to be Carling.
Oh no! Whenever I'm abroad, I barely drink at home. Right, I hardly touch beer. But when I'm abroad, I drink either Amstel or Estrella, the local beers, because you can drink shit tons of it and not get too drunk. And then once I'm filled with beer then, and it does about 5 or 6 pints and I can't drink anymore, I go on to vodka then. And the vodkas you get in Spain, oh my god, there's barely enough room in the glass for the Coke or the lemonade or whatever you have. It's awesome. Question for me from Jamie, the earth is flat. Okay. Next, please. Question 97. Conrad Kopek. Somebody's typing an awful lot tonight. Who is the massive Scottish bloke that I think... Hang on. Who's the massive Scottish bloke? Hang on. Who is the massive Scottish bloke is that you use in your videos all the time? Oh, it's for you, not me. It's Del. Even I can answer that.
Yeah, it's from the channel called Beyond the Imaginary Curve.
And he called me a fanny.
He doesn't like
No,
me,
he called me a weak little fanny. I felt quite starstruck when I got a comment off Del, I'm not going to lie. Next question's for you as well, from Keith Milner. Is that a guitar amp at the back of your room or a sewing machine?
It's actually a lot better amp than it looks. Yeah, but it is an amp.
A question from Conrad Kopek. Bloody hell. I know Creaky doesn't deal with flat earthers face to face. So, Catz, have you ever had a situation where someone called you an idiot on a video and then met you in person? What was the conversation like?
No, because I've never met any of them in person.
That's gonna be an awkward conversation, isn't it?
I don't think so. It depends. Like, I don't think it would. I think if I met one of, like, for example, ranty flat earthers call me all sorts, but I think if I met him in person, I think I'd be mature enough to deal with him on a personal level.
Yeah, but would he?
Would he? I assume so, and if not, at the end of the day, I think what I do is, and I might be wrong, maybe I've crossed the line once or twice and people put me right, but I think what I do is, I think it's banter at the most. I don't think I've ever called anyone an idiot. I don't think I've ever called anyone a dick or a knob or, been really nasty about anybody. So I think if somebody was going to get really, 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 really upset at anything I've done, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you can run faster than them, it's fine anyway. Let's say for argument's sake, you ever were to bump into InRem. I don't think he'd know who you were anyway.
I don't think.
I don't think he knows who he is. He probably gets a fright every time he wakes up in the morning and looks in the mirror. Oh, who the hell is that? Don't worry, it's just you.
Oh, brilliant.
Right, question number 100. We get in there now. My questions are all so rock and roll. Chris Fault, is that a real cactus on your shelf? Yes, it is a real cactus. Wrong shelf. Yes, it is a real cactus. I've always wanted my own cactus, and Mrs. Blinder bought it for me. Question for me from who? Per Bernhardson. Will you comment on your thoughts about JM Truth on Discord? No, I won't. I may make a video about him one day, and then possibly my thoughts will be revealed. Next question. Stephen Steen. Why does Heat Shield keep timing me out? What do you mean in the side chat? Well, I'm not watching the side chat, so I guess you'd have to ask Heat Shield, Stephen Steen. Unless, of course, you're being a naughty boy, which is not tolerated in my side chat. Because I'm very bossy with my side chat. And I don't like people arguing in my side chat. That's why whenever I get a flat earther in there, I just boot them. Because nobody needs that sort of negativity in their life. I don't know. Last question from 1 Minute Debunk. For me, which flat earther is the biggest dream boat? Asking for a friend. Anthony Riley. Anthony Riley doesn't seem like he's stupid to me. Or am I not hearing? I know what he says is all wrong, but he's very, very eloquent.
I think I've spoken to him a lot in the past, sort of like over Skype and whatnot, and he's more articulate than a lot, and maybe he's got areas that he's quite knowledgeable in outside of science, but whenever he talks about any scientific subject, in any kind of conversation I've had with him, he is not intelligent at all. He's really, really weak and struggles to grasp a lot of really basic concepts, which I wouldn't have normally said publicly, but considering his recent behaviour, I don't mind putting that out there.
Yeah. He has seemed to have turned into a giant dong of late, doesn't he?
He does.
He's another person I've never made a video about, and it's purely because his videos are just too long and boring.
Yeah, there's very little substance to them, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, he just seems to like the sound of his own voice, and he just seems to think he's great.
But,
and I know I think I'm great, but I clearly am. You know, he is making flat Earth videos, and I just spat at you. Sorry, I'm getting overexcited. Right, that's all the questions. Thank God. Let me just address my super chats. Vincent Ricker, hi Creaky and Conspiracy Cats, $10, no, €10. Nenad Kubik, 10 BAM. What's BAM? Is that like Flintstones currency? We are not here only because of the flat earth. We are here mainly because of you and what you're doing. You are both great guys. Thank you. And Nenad is one of my Patreons. Bill Ashby, $2, says, please, not the floppy head moron. I'm going to take a stab in the dark and say he's talking about Nathan Oakley there, because I can't think of any other floppy head morons. 9 o'clock hero, just to refresh our memories on this one, Catz. £100 to whichever one of us makes the funniest video on Boris, but it must get at least 200 likes. 200 likes. Pfft, amateur status.
I'm going to make mine funny then.
Reasonable assumption, $5. It's 2 guitars, 1 bass and a ukulele. Thank you for correcting me. Bo Ellsworth, $5. 2 ball guys, 1 show. The question is, what is the shape of their ... planet? Love both of you. Keep up the great work. $1.99 from Stephen Steen. Conspiracy Cats is trash. I missed that one earlier.
In the chat.
Reasonable assumption, another $5. Thank you, mate. It's because your content is awesome, and that's why. I couldn't deal with those idiots, and I'm glad you two do it on a regular basis. 9 o'clock hero, $4.99. Do you think Simon Dan's let himself go? No disrespect to the man, but he seems a job's worth, and you guys have... What the hell does that say? Friendligation. That's not even a word, is it?
Friendligation.
Friend. Hang on, I'll have to put my reading glasses on. Yeah, friendligation. I'm going to assume that that's humorous, but I don't get it, I'm afraid. But thanks for the $4.99, 9 o'clock hero. And Catz and I will both hold you to that £100 prize. £2 from 1 Minute Debunk. Creaky, why do you have a French accent? I don't know 1 Minute Debunk, but I've been told that I do speak English fairly fluently, so thank you. $10 from Roy Fraser, no comment. Another 5 BAM. I really want to know what a BAM is now.
I'm going to Google that.
Yeah, Google it. It says BAM 5.00. Give Marble Girl... Marble. Who's Marble Girl? I've just invented a new person. Give Marvel Girl a spanner. I have no idea why she didn't have a spanner. $2 from the Snark. Give Marvel Girl a spanner. Done. And this one, thank you very, very much to Curtis Reynolds for the $100 super chat. Long-time watcher of both you and Catz. The two of you are simply amazing. I just wanted to tell you that. £6.66. Illuminati confirmed. Look, I've even got the ring. I bought this ring specifically for my videos because I thought that some conspiracy or flat earth nut job would notice it. Nobody's ever noticed it. I'm gutted. That was £3.49 on Amazon. £3.49. And nobody's ever even noticed it. 99 cents from Adam Mangold. No comment. €5 from Mr. Grant Lilly. Thank you to both of you for your work. Keep it up. And £5 from Keith Milner. Did you take your cagoule off in Spain? I haven't got a cagoule. I'm not 70. Or 7. Christ Puncher, $5. In all fairness, no one is as smart as Sleeping Warrior. I would never have thought to watch an egg float in water to realise the earth is flat. Oh, dear me. That, you know, when he did that, surely that had to be satire.
No, there's Paquette Word did the original egg in water video, and when I first met him, Anthony Riley, he was banging on about that experiment. He's been talking about the egg in water for at least a year. So, but it is. I mean, it is that ridiculous, isn't it? You know, somebody's putting an egg, floating it in water to try and prove that the Earth.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make any sense at all. But that being said, not a lot does make sense to me. 9 o'clock hero 199 says Bam is bumming around money. Did you find out what it was, Catz?
But Bosnia Herzegovina.
Ah, right.
Is that right? Probably not, but.
Oh my god. Right. Is that it now? Yes. Right. I think that concludes the fun and games. Thank you very much, Mr. Conspiracy Catz, for gracing my humble channel with your presence.
Thanks for having me on. I've really
It's actually been a lot of fun. One of my favourite live streams so far. Definitely, without a doubt.
Really enjoyed it.
Apologies to anyone who was attempting to communicate via the side chat. I haven't really been watching it that closely tonight because I've been told off by numerous people who watch this free content that we all put out that it's very rude of me to just continually read questions and not speak to the people watching. So, you know, what can I say? So, yeah, that's it. Have you got anything you'd like to say in closing, Catz? Anything you've got coming up? Anything you want to plug?
Oh, I've just sent another couple of super chats with questions in.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Damn, hang on, let me open the super chat window. Quantum Reach around. How's Anthony Riley's Masters going?
The last I heard about that was he was on the verge of being thrown out because the topic he'd chosen, you know, obviously like the flat earth related, why is it not being pushed in schools or whatever, wasn't considered anywhere near appropriate for a Masters. It was considered a bit dumb. So I think they were going to throw him out unless he chose to change his topic. I think. I might be wrong, but I haven't heard since then. So I'd assume that he's not doing it anymore.
Oh dear.
And it's a shame because like that was crowdfunded for him. You know,
Was it?
He was given the opportunity to gain a master's degree, and if he's going to turf away all the money that people have paid for him to do that, you know, and show no kind of respect, you know, not value the master's degree in any way, shape or form, not show respect to the people that gave him money, he could have at least changed it and got the master's degree out of it after it had already been paid for.
Yeah, exactly. That's just a massive demonstration of being ungrateful, though, isn't it?
Yeah. If he has been kicked out, maybe I'm wrong, but
yeah. But if that's not the case, that just makes him a massively ungrateful douchebag, in my opinion. Because if somebody goes to the, you know, if the cost of the degree is being crowdfunded, then to me, he's obliged.
I think so, yeah.
But there we are. Not everyone's got the same opinions, have they? Right, have you got anything you'd like to add right at the end, Catz? Because we are going to call it a day.
No, just thanks for having us. I've really enjoyed it. It's been,
it's been good fun. Right, Thank you to everyone who's watching. I'm going to do a super duper quick sign off because it's really late and I just want to go. I like you, but, you know, it's been 3 hours. It's my longest ever live stream. Such an achievement. I feel so proud. And I'm just padding because I can't find where to stop the stream. Bye!